Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
You know, it's a lot more fun watching the Phillies play games where they don't allow a run in every single inning. It's a lot more fun watching Phillies games in which they win, they did last night.
Is that hashtag analysis?
Hashtag analysis. Phillies 4-1 victory over the Cincinnati Reds yesterday. 10 games over 500, which makes their record now 51-41. Remember, at one point this season, they were 10 games under 500 with a record of 9-19.
They keep just treading water.
Well,
they're like that
yesterday.
movie. I watched a movie over 4th of July weekend where the serial killer guy was on a boat with the sharks.
Oh, I heard of it.
Man, it was crazy. By the way, I would suggest to watch it.
Okay.
Suggest to watch it. Animals, Dirty Animals or something like that. It was very good. It was scary as hell. But it's like they're just treading water.
Well, they won yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, they're winning, they're losing, they're winning, they're losing, and they're not taking advantage enough of how crappy the Braves have been.
Well, Phillies win yesterday, and the Braves have now lost their third straight game. So you could say that they're treading water and not taking advantage enough. Being back 2 games of the Atlanta Braves in a season in which you were down double-digit games at one point, I would say treading water. I'll take treading water at this point because what you saw earlier this year was a team that was written off by Major League Baseball analysts in the month of April and May, and here we are on July 8th, waking up this morning after the Phillies win yesterday and another Braves loss. The Phils are just 2 games back, so you could say they're not taking advantage enough. That sure, but my read on is, oh my God, we're here. The fact that we can even have that conversation.
Oh, it's great, but the schedule. Remember, this is a part of the schedule where the Phillies were supposed to be eating, feasting.
Sure,
and they're 5-5. Instead of feasting, they're 5-5. They're putzing around against bad teams.
Okay.
Instead of doing what they're supposed to do, go out there, win 7 out of 10, and make up this because they're not even the best team right now in their division. The best team in baseball right now, playing the best team in baseball for 6 weeks, is the Marlins, who are now just a game behind them, which is crazy town. I mean, the Marlins are playing great baseball. This is going to be wild in that I've actually got my eye on the team behind them as much as I have my eye on the team in front of them. Because the team in front of them looks like they were shot in the woods.
Yeah.
And they're bleeding. The team behind them is looking great, and they're playing the best baseball for 6 weeks in the major leagues.
Yeah, and the Phillies at one point were playing the best baseball for 6 weeks. It's the sport. And when I see the Braves falling apart the way they are, the Phillies aren't going to go 7-3 in 10 games every single stretch. So, sure, they went 5-5 in this stretch, and you maybe think that there could have been more for the Phillies to grab.
Against bad teams. That's the difference. Is when you go 5-5 against – you're playing the Dodgers and the Brewers and stuff like that, I don't have a problem.
Right.
When you're playing bad teams, this is when we thought they would feast. They're not feasting. And that's what I was hoping.
I woke up with a totally different attitude. I just see the fact that there's a number 2, and the number 2 is games back behind the Atlanta Braves. I'm not even thinking about the 5-5 stretch. I'm not thinking about the 15-1 loss to Kansas City at this point. All I see is when I look up, that team is in reach, man. That team is right there, and that's the Atlanta Braves that you're just 2 games back. You can snatch first place back from the Atlanta Braves. This is the closest they have been to Atlanta since April 13th.
Now, that's awesome. But are you looking more at what this Phillies team is or winning this division? I'm looking at more what this Phillies team is. Like, to me, I'm looking at it as you don't play 5-5 ball against bad teams in this stretch when you were on a roll. Let's play good ball. And they haven't played good ball, and they haven't pitched well, and the bullpen looks like a mess. I'm saying, what are they going to do long term? What's this going to mean long term? What's this going to mean about this team more than right now? The Braves look like they look like a wounded animal.
Yeah.
They look like, I don't know that when a team plays 7-17 ball over 24, I'm not sure that I'm like, woo, you're catching up to them. Woo, they're doing it to themselves. They're imploding.
Yeah, the Phillies could also go 7-17. They went 9-19 at one point.
They did. They absolutely did. But I'm not thrilled then because that just means if you're playing that badly, that I'm saying I don't have any dreams about.
You're not thrilled this morning. I'm fired up.
No, I'm excited that they're
thrilled. Dude.
I'm excited they're 2 back for the storyline of it. But the thing is, I still want to see this team play better. I'm hoping that they can find ways to play better. And right now, without the trade deadline adding some like adding some reinforcements, I'm not sure that is necessarily.
Well, yeah, look, I saw a write-up on the Phillies this morning that we'll talk a little bit more later on the show about. You have some really good players on this team, all-stars, right? Like you have all-stars and guys that maybe should be all-stars, and then you have everybody else. And the everybody else is not good. Like the everybody else that this Phillies team has is actually pretty bad. Well, in certain areas, the starting pitching depth is bad aside from your all-stars, or these should be all-stars. Your bullpen depth is not good.
There is no depth.
Other than your all-star.
Don't even use depth.
Right.
There's no depth in the bullpen at all.
But that's why in less than a month's time, it's up to, once again, Dave Dombrowski. I hate that we have to have this conversation every single year.
Right.
Because we do it with this, or did do it with the Sixers and Daryl Morey. Oh, don't ignore the roster now. Think about the roster after the trade deadline. That's what will really be. It's up to Dave Dombrowski to make another big move that really impacts this team, whether it's bullpen arm, that, the bridge to Duran, whether it's another right-handed bat, whether it's a back end of the starting pitcher, or if these dreams of Skubal are actually real that John Heyman is still pushing. It's up to Dave Dombrowski to get this done.
Do you, when you look at where the Phillies are right now, and in the whole 2 games back thing, do you say to yourself they are more like the team that was on the rampage? I just look at them as I'm thinking that they are the team that's in the middle. That they're not the team that was on the rampage playing really, really good ball, and they're not the team that was crappy as hell under Sleepy Rob. They are something in the middle that's going to play 6 out of 10 baseball, which isn't bad, by the way. 6 out of 10 baseball is going to probably get you to a wild card spot in most years. But I'm waiting to see some spark of consistency, and I don't see it.
I mean, you had it for a while. It's just they
had it for 4 weeks.
Isn't it baseball? Like there's lulls in the sport all the time, and a lull is 5-5. I get it; it's against bad teams, but their lull, and one of those wins was against a bad team in Pittsburgh, but you beat up on Paul Skeens in that game. So I don't know, like. I'm surprised by your reaction.
Yeah, I just am like,
or your tone.
Like right now, I'm looking at it as like everybody goes, well, the Eagles won the division last year. I don't consider the Eagles winning the division last year even something worth talking about. Nobody else was competitive, so it's no big deal when they hang that. And I do think it's a stupid banner that they hang division banners at Lincoln Financial Field, because I think the organization has advanced beyond that. Having to hang division banners. They're now a 2-time Super Bowl champion. I don't think you have to do that anymore. But you hang a division banner for a year where nobody even had a winning record other than you. Like, to me, it's not that big a deal. Right now, the National League East looks extremely mediocre. I don't want the Phillies to be mediocre. I want the Phillies to be good. I want the Phillies to play good ball.
They have the 6th best record in baseball right now. The only reason they don't have the 5th is 1 game in the loss column on the Cubs that Cubs haven't played yet. This is a team that, sure, you can look at them as treading water right now. The thing is, there's 2 different types of treading water. There's treading water off the Titanic where help isn't going to get there in time. And there's treading water where the SOS call has gone out. And if you make it to August 3rd with what this team is doing right now, if they just play even 500 ball and they stay at 10 games over by the trade deadline, those reinforcements are coming. And then you make that push down the stretch. They're going to be in the postseason. We know that the division isn't something that's indicated a deeper postseason run in the past. And we've seen teams, like half the league's fighting to be 500. So I don't look at, regardless of opponent, the Phillies playing 500 ball for a short stretch and say that's a problem.
Okay, I'm just looking at it this way. Like, here's when you were talking about, like, and Connie, you make the point of, like, where their record is. The Phillies are in the National League. Right now, they're behind the Braves, behind the Brewers, behind the Dodgers, behind the Cubs. Mm-hmm. And they've gotten beaten by all those teams. They played poorly against those collective teams. So I just wonder, where are they? That's why I was hoping that when they got on a roll, that they would this would stabilize. And this doesn't look. The Phillies do not look like even the 2024-25 Phillies. They don't look like them to me. As far as those teams were much more of a rampage through the regular season than this team looks to me. They're still at a negative run differential. The Phillies
got them right where we want them.
The Phillies, a negative run differential is embarrassing. It's July 8th. They could roll into the All-Star game at a negative run differential. It's horrendous.
Well, they were
And that
positive
is-
Monday,
and
and
by-
then they lost 15-1.
Yeah,
And by the way,
that's part of it.
It's a horrible indicator of any kind of postseason chance at success. Run differential is a terrible. It's a really red mark indicator that you have a chance to succeed in October. For teams, you can have a good record, but your run differential does tell you a lot about what kind of a baseball team you really are.
Yeah, but there's also, to me, context to it, especially when
What's the
now
context?
I know Sanchez had the really bad outing, but do you think Sanchez is more of that or more of the really good pitcher that we're used to seeing?
I think he's more of the really good pitcher
Right.
you used to see. If he's healthy.
Right, I got
If
you.
he- if everything's okay.
Ricky quickly said he doesn't think he's hurt
Right.
yesterday. Aaron Nola and Andrew Painter are a part of that run differential. Aaron Nola and Andrew Painter are not pitching.
Well, who's replacing them?
Well, right now you're going to go with a 3-man rotation to start.
I mean, like, I
You can
understand.
laugh all you want.
No,
it's
I know, but I
true.
understand,
And
but
that
you-
3-man rotation is one of the best that will be in the playoffs. And then you hope that they acquire somebody as a back end of the starter, back end of the rotation starting pitcher.
I'd love
I'm
to
not
see
even
it.
doing the Scooble dreams. I'm not
No,
doing
no,
that.
no. I get you.
refuse
I'd love to
do
see that. I'd love to see them get that fourth starter. So they go get the fourth starter. How many bullpen arms are you getting me?
I still want the biggest move.
They only have one. They only have one. Well, there's only one guy you like in that bullpen, right?
Yeah. And are you guys starting to get to the good side of history here, Connor?
What?
I know
What?
you were. I know you were wavering last
What about?
time.
Whoa.
That the biggest name that they acquire should be a bullpen arm.
No, the bullpen arm is definitely necessary. But the thing is, you don't need one. You need multiple.
I think you only need one.
How?
If you let's
They've got one guy in the bullpen that you can count
let's
on.
say they get Chapman. All right, let's just throw it out there. Chapman eighth.
he
and
does
Duran
not.
ninth.
He will not be an eighth inning. He doesn't want to be an eighth inning guy. He's already said, "Don't bring me somewhere to be an eighth inning guy." He's not going to be a setup guy for anybody else. So unless you're telling me Chapman's going to be that Chapman is.
Fine, then Duran's my setup guy.
Duran's not doing that.
He has the cool intro in the 8th inning.
2 intros.
Nah,
He had
there-
2 intros,
He's already
man.
said. He's already said. And when you were away, who did we have on? We had somebody on that talked about that, Connor. When Andrew was away, we had somebody on saying that he doesn't want to be. He's already made it known, sort of like, hey, he's a closer. I'm closing out games, so don't trade for me if they're even gonna move him somewhere. He's not going to be. He's not ready to set at this point of his career to go set up for somebody else because he's too good at what he does. He's going to go want to be somewhere.
He
where
probably
can close
doesn't
that
want to
game.
set up for Hector Neris.
Right?
but-
No, he doesn't want to
you
set
know.
up. No, he doesn't want to set up for anybody. He wants to be a closer for a team. So some team that wants a
All right.
closer that thinks they're
Man,
he wants to be
I hate your attitude this morning.
Gotta say it.
I hate it. Like, I'll be honest. I'm
say it.
really angry with your attitude this
I'm
morning.
sorry
I
about
came
that.
in here all fired up.
I'm
like,
sorry. Well, look.
2 games back.
There's a lot to be excited about. But when it's 2 games back and you're even playing mediocre ball and you're catching up, you're playing 5-5 ball in the last 10, and you've made up 3 games.
Yeah.
You made up 3 games
Sometimes you need things to go your way.
because the team in front of you is just falling apart. They're just falling apart. It's not that you've been playing great. It's that the team in front of you is just falling apart. I look at it as, are you playing like the Dodgers? Are you playing like the Brewers? The Cubs beat you 6 out of 7. Are you like those?
Yeah, they also
teams?
beat you 6 out of 7 when it was a
When what?
it was a really bad time for the Philadelphia Phillies. They were not the same team that they are now, and you even suggest.
No, I got you, but I mean,
your sleepy Rob jokes.
I got
it was
you.
that
but
time.
No, it is. It is.
That was part of the,
we should have
6 and 7.
We should have pre Thompson firing, post
Well,
Thompson
that's what I'm saying.
firing.
Well, just like we had
As far as that.
pre-Girardi and post-Girardi. It was the same baseball team back in 2022. It's the same baseball team now.
I just there's a lot that I just think the shopping list is too long. I think that people will. I tried to think last night, just sitting jotting down because it was so awesome to watch Wheeler just toy with. He was playing his food all night
Yeah,
long.
dominant.
I mean,
14 strikeouts
just killing
last
them.
night. Ridiculous.
And I'm thinking to myself, what does this team need? They need a back end of the starting rotation guy. They need at least 2. They need 2 bullpen arms. They need 2. They need a right-handed bat. They don't have the prospects for it. They have a terrible minor league system. They don't have the prospects to be able to go shop for these guys. So where are they coming from?
Oh, I can't wait to tell you about their ranking. That
Oh,
came
no.
out. That came
Oh,
out
no.
yesterday. We'll get into that coming up in a little bit. All right,
no.
so what's the Phillies question then? I wasn't expecting your reaction, so we got to come up with a question.
See, that's why we don't do the show for the show.
Are you excited that they're 2 games back, or are you still worried about the Phillies? Like, I don't know. What's the wording of the question here? I'm surprised by your reaction.
How about this? Does the Phillies being 2 games back of the Braves
mean anything to you?
Validate them to you.
Yeah, are you
something.
more focused on their standing in the division or them in a vacuum?
All right.
That's not a bad. That's a good wording. There,
On
Connor.
July 8th, I'm looking at them in the division because I already know their flaws, but I think they can add to them. I think they can not add to the flaws. That'd be bad.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Let's not.
They can hopefully fix some of those
That's
flaws
not really the idea.
in
Yeah,
about
yeah.
a month. All right, 610-632-0975.
That's where I'm at. Look. Do I think I agree with Connor 100%? Now, they don't ever say that. That they're going to be a postseason team in some way, shape, or form. They're going to be, but that doesn't mean anything to me
No,
at this point.
I get it.
It's been too long. We've waited too long for this.
But I
stuff.
still can't help but get excited to see your 2 games back when at one point you were what? What was the worst? Was it 12?
10. 10 under.
10 games back? No, behind the Braves.
Oh, they were 11 and a half, I think, at one point.
so around 12 games
I think
back
they were 11 and a
Atlanta.
half.
Now
yeah.
they're down just 2. And to me, I go, all right, that's something
you're like,
to
okay.
celebrate on July 8th at 6:15 in the morning.
Okay,
right.
and I understand. The little things in life can sometimes make you really happy.
You
And
know
we like
me,
that.
I'm a simple man.
And we like that.
All right, that's your Phillies discussion. Sixers still on the table because there's still so much excitement surrounding the Sixers. Shams Charania added to that yesterday.
Are you excited about this?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
See, now this.
15 minutes of Phillies talk was actually a little too much. I started to shake. All right, like I need a hit. You know what I'm saying? Like
There you go.
I need a LeBron hit here. I need a hit of the LeJ. Like I'm starting to get the
Because
twitches
you're
here.
already sold that this is happening.
Well, no, I'm
in
not
your
sold
head,
that it's
no, but
happening.
it sounds like in your head you're making it like it's
I
gonna
never
happen.
truly believed it in 2018. I believe there is a legitimate shot in 2026. Whereas 2018, it was fun to think about it, and it made sense from a basketball standpoint. And if he really cared about winning, he would have come to Philadelphia. He won in L.A., so I can't, he wins. But coming here now in 2026 makes sense, and it's all because of that trade of Jaylen Brown. And Shams Charania pretty much said just that yesterday.
All 10 of those teams have a standing offer for LeBron James. Now, I think you have to whittle that down, though. And I do, when I talk to teams around the league, when I do my research, the teams that continue to come up are Cleveland, Miami, Philadelphia after they got the Jaylen Brown. Like, Philadelphia was not in the picture. And I think that's why this is somewhat a true free agency for LeBron James, because he didn't go into it with a calculation in mind, a plan in place, because you leave the Lakers, you don't necessarily know what your value is. There's not like a guaranteed max that he's walking into. So you have to be open-minded. So when the Sixers got Jaylen Brown, I did some research and I found out within 24 hours, like, he's taking their pitch really seriously. And so I look at it when I talk to teams now as kind of a hierarchy of Cleveland, Miami, Philadelphia. And then I think there's some teams on the periphery.
Sham's a little stuffy.
Well, I just like that he rounded back to Philadelphia, especially after the Jaylen Brown stuff. Like,
Yes.
This is the number one insider in the National Basketball Association.
He
right?
is the Schefter of the NBA.
And the fact that he rounded back to it, like after he said, Miami, Cleveland, Philadelphia, wow, by the way, Philadelphia was not on the list. And then he starts going into this long explanation as why now Philadelphia is on the list. The audio from Rich Paul over the weekend with Max Kellerman about the move of Jaylen Brown, having Tyrese Maxey here, a fellow clutch player, but also the fact that there's basketball people in place. Jameer Nelson, that's a big deal for him. Mike Gansey, a former collegiate athlete, right? That's a big deal for him, and he also knows him back in the days of Cleveland. I'm starting to get the itch that this could legitimately happen. So here's the question, because we can't just do should they sign LeBron or do you want them to sign LeBron?
No,
because that's ridiculous. Here's a question for you. The Sixers organization, can we all agree, has not the best perception from the masses?
Yeah.
Because of their past, but these are all new faces. These are new faces.
How much would the addition of LeBron James, if they were able to acquire LeBron, change your perception of the Philadelphia 76ers?
How about 100%?
Like complete,
How about
100? 180?
How about 100% because of the fact that already it does. Already, Bob Myers, Mike Gansey has changed, I'd say 85%. Unfortunately, you got the owner who is more worried about his Washington commodes than he is about the Sixers.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying about
He spends
the
money,
owner. He spends a ton
But he doesn't.
of money.
There's a difference about spending money and being an attentive owner. Jeffrey Lurie shows that. You can spend all the money you want. Arthur Blank in Atlanta, where I'll be back at, he spends a ton of money. Jeffrey Lurie is a great owner who spends a lot of money, who does it the right way. Arthur Blank's a meddling owner, a guy who inserts himself into things, does stuff like, hey, let's give Joel Embiid a max contract for 3 years, which is what this owner did.
Sure.
There's a difference. You can spend all the money in the world. I'm not giving you credit for spending money.
I'll give you some credit because there's owners that don't spend money and they get crushed for it. So I will give credit. Look, and by the way, the process where he lost money for years because nobody was going to the games for good reason.
How about though? That's a process he signed off on.
Sure.
He signed off on
I know.
Which was, by the way, stupidity. But I mean, I forgive him for it. It was sheer stupidity.
Okay.
But
how much would the signing, if they sign
100%.
LeBron James, change your perception of the Sixers? I love them already, but it's a love-hate relationship, much of the teams in Philadelphia.
No, it's already. Mike Gansey and Bob Myers have already changed my perception 85%, 88%. I'm thrilled. The Sixers have just turned my whole tone.
All right.
Made me very happy.
So let's expand on that coming up next. How much would your perception of the Sixers change if they were able to acquire LeBron James? That means he chose this organization, chose this roster. He's not picking it for the money. The Sixers don't have any. Right? Like, the Sixers can't give him a max contract. So if he were to come here, I don't know what the finances would look like, but he's not coming here for the big payday. He's coming here for the organization and for the chance to win. That should change the feelings of the Sixers for a lot of people. 610-632-0975. How about all the teams in Philadelphia? What's your perception of all four major teams in Philly? We'll go through that coming up next, especially the Phillies one, because they got another horrible annual report. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Wheels, deals in Cincinnati. I'm Connor Thomas, and Zack Wheeler had a monster night on the mound as the Phillies took down the Reds 4-1 in Game 1 in Cincy. Wheeler went 7 innings, 1 earned, striking out 14, tying for a career high for him. Did not walk a single batter in his start. Kyle Schwarber went yard for the 31st time this year to help power the offense. But it was the Zack Wheeler show last night. He talked after with the NBC Sports Philadelphia broadcast about chasing the strikeouts when he got hot.
First few innings passed, yeah. I was kind of chasing those today, especially, I think once I had 11, I was like, man, I want to try to, get 15, get that personal record. I wasn't able to do it, but, we won the game.
Love a guy being upset about not getting the 15 strikeouts when he had 14 in the game. That'll do, Wheels. The Phils do have a new All-Star, even though Zack Wheeler was not selected to the All-Star game. Jesus Luzardo was named as a replacement yesterday, the first selection of his career. Game 2 is tonight at 7 p.m. Phil starter is still listed as undecided. Chase Burns will go for the Reds. Yesterday, Shams Charania reporting that LeBron James is taking the Sixers offer really seriously. We will keep an eye on that developing situation. Cleveland, Miami, and Philly sound like the 3 main options per Shams report. The Flyers have 2 more days till Anaheim's deadline on a decision on the Leo Carlson offer sheet. Adam Schefter will join us coming up at 8:05. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the 2026 MLB All-Star Game in Philadelphia, 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
weather. Kincade and Salciunas, Philly Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
This hour of Kincade and Salciunas is presented by Bradford White Water Heaters. Bradford White, they're here for the pro.
All right, it's 6:30 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. If LeBron James were to sign with the Sixers, how much would your perception change of the organization? Or as John has said, how much has your perception already changed with maybe the right people in place? With Bob Myers leading the search for Mike Gansey coming in. You get the trade for Jaylen Brown already. You get some other nice additions. Anthony Simons is a great addition. I'm really excited to see how he plays out coming off the bench because that's something that they didn't have last year was bench scoring. So you already like a lot of the moves, plus the big one for Jaylen Brown. And there could still be another big one with LeBron James. Shams saying yesterday that trade for Jaylen Brown really opened the eyes of LeBron James and his camp.
I'm glad my cousin Anthony is here. My mom is a Simons.
Oh, how about that?
That's her maiden name, so I'm figuring cousin Anthony.
Yeah.
And, maybe
I can see the resemblance.
Could be family. Could be resemblance. Never know. So it could be a Simons.
So how much would your perception change? 610-632-0975. Now, if we talked about all four teams in Philadelphia and our perception of them, Eagles still you
say gold standard.
Confidence.
You say gold standard for a reason, but you know what's funny is that used to be mocked.
Right.
Because Jeffrey Lurie said it prematurely. But Jeffrey Lurie saw it coming together.
And man, did he back that up.
And he got the last laugh, but he said it prematurely. So he was getting sort of mocked about it.
Sure.
But it's interesting to watch it. It is interesting to watch it all come together.
Look, and there's things that we could complain about the Eagles every year. Right?
Patullo,
right?
I feel good.
Jake Elliott. There's things to complain about
there
for
are.
sure.
I still feel really good about them.
Yeah,
really feel good about them.
They back it up every single year.
Except Jake Elliott. That's one I'm going to I'll continue to be amazed that they're going to go into another season with the worst kicker out of. Howie Roseman will not go into a football season with the worst player at a position for 3 consecutive years ever. And they're doing it with Jake Elliott.
Hell yeah, man.
Makes no sense. There's no explanation for it.
Jake the Great. The Eagles are becoming, they already should be, quite frankly. I wonder if nationally this will ever happen. The Eagles are becoming, like when you talk about the great teams, like the teams that you're like, they're always in it.
Like bulletproof.
Pittsburgh, Baltimore gets that. San Francisco, I would say, gets that. Philadelphia should get that moniker. Like the Eagles should get that.
Well, the Eagles do get that. I think the Eagles get that. I think they get that perception. I think
the television broadcasts show that. National televised
the national
games.
Televised games show that. I think the attention from every single year, the fan bases that watch the national audience that watches football, they love watching Eagle games.
Yeah.
Eagle games usually 4 of the top 10, 5 of the top 10 watched games are usually Eagle games in the regular season. So the Eagles are a popular draw.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the Phillies, the perception. This one's fascinating. Because
I didn't know, and I have no idea where you're going on this. I know it's on the sheet. I looked at it, but I did not look for it. So after you told me, you said there's something coming. So I have no idea what you're referencing.
Let's talk about the organization for a second as a whole, historically. Not just these last couple of years. These last couple of years are another blip. If you look at the Phillies historically, now I also know that playoffs changed over the centuries of Major League Baseball. At one point, it was just, hey, you guys are in the World Series. Congratulations.
Well, and in my lifetime, it used to be you had to win your division. There used to be 2 teams in the playoffs in the National League.
Right, so it's changed. Now that you have extra wild cards.
The Phillies would have had many years where they would have been in the playoffs if they went with the Mickey Mouse. Let everybody get to the playoffs.
And I like this because it's more fun for me.
Well, it is more fun to have more teams in the playoffs, but it is much less of rewarding 162. Like
it's rewarding 14 teams.
162 means little now. Like now it's like you can be a little over mediocre and you can make the playoffs in baseball.
Sure. Well, again, it's a blip because the Phillies have been in the playoffs every year since 2022. Before that, it was a 10-year drought. The Phillies were in the playoffs every year from 2007 to 2011. Before that, it was a 14-year drought, right? Like, the Phillies, in terms of the history of the franchise, are bad. They're a bad organization. They're a bad club.
Yeah, it's been bad.
You can date them Browns. You can't call them a historically good club. They are a historic first professional team with 10,000 losses.
Not a good club.
They're a historically bad organization. The farm system continues to be bad.
Is this what this is about?
Baseball America dropped their annual rankings. Do you know?
I stopped when they started charging the exorbitant fee to be able to read their crap.
I know, it's crazy.
Okay, wait. So
But people pay for it.
Their ranking came out. So there's 30 franchises.
Yeah. Where do you think
It
the
came out
Phillies
yesterday?
came in?
24.
You're giving them too much credit, bro.
Are you
29. They are the second worst farm system collectively, AAA down in Major League Baseball.
That can't be right.
The second worst. Yes, it can be because they have one prospect and his back doesn't work.
Wait a minute. Just because Baseball America is not the end all be all, they're the only one. But I mean, that's terrible.
Yeah, it's really bad. Maybe
Oh, my God.
maybe another ranking has them at 24. Like
Are you
another
kidding me?
another company, but
Wait a
they
minute.
are
Last
the
year,
29th.
Connor, you do the Locked On Phillies podcast. I think last year they might have been in that ballpark.
They were like 20th, I think, last year.
20th or something.
Yeah, because
they dropped
thought
that bad.
They thought Andrew Painter was going to be really, really good.
And then
Aiden Miller's back was still working.
And then they got rid of prospects because they got rid of prospects making deals
and the
last
Bader
year.
Duran trade. And like every Phillies prospect has had a bad year. Like short of Gage Wood, and I guess like the couple weeks we've seen of Francisco Renteria at whatever.
Are you
ball,
kidding me?
Like Nori's struggling,
29th,
Escobar
man.
struggling. Like none of the prospects have had a good year.
Nori's another slap hitter that plays
I mean,
outfield
yeah,
that bats
exactly.
left-handed. It's the
Oh,
Phillies
you're kidding me.
historically are a horrible farm system.
Yes.
They Aaron Nola, the fact that he's still pitching for the Phillies is actually like an outlier in terms of players that came up through the farm system that were starting pitchers.
I don't even believe
outfielders.
this.
They don't develop outfielders. They never have. They just don't do it.
I don't even believe this number.
I
They're
do.
29. Okay.
You have
they're-
talked about how they have nobody to trade.
Okay. No. I am because I've been trying to read a lot up on it as we approach the trade deadline. I had no idea it was that bad.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
Oh my gosh. Then how are they talking about Tarek Skubal?
That's why I don't know.
What do you think people are going? What do you think people are going to take? What are the Tigers going to do? The Tigers are going to put the most marketable pitcher on the market. Now you're going to have to sign him, so he's a rental.
And
people want to do that.
looming.
And the
all
lockout
that
looming.
stuff, yeah.
But I mean, are you serious? Somebody can't put together a better package than that?
Well, there's one worse team than the Phillies.
Yeah, that's true. The other thing you got to remember is this is a very fluid, like the rankings for the prospects are very fluid. We only see it once every like 6 months whenever Baseball America puts their stuff out. But part of the reason that the Phillies are where they are is because guys that have been ranked highly at points for where they're at in the minor league system have not had good years. You could go, they're not just going to look and say, well, yeah, this guy's the number 70 overall prospect, so not interested. You could sell teams on players that are losing ranking based on overall potential at the major league level.
Yeah, but other teams can with guys that are more highly ranked. They could do the same thing. Like the Marlins. I would imagine the Marlins farm system's pretty good.
Probably because teams like the Marlins and the Rays,
and the Marlins are one game behind the Phillies.
Yeah,
and in a rental situation, and they have money to spend. Reading the Miami Herald, they got money to spend. They have money to spend on a short-term situation this year. They have money to spend.
And 4 of their starters will leave because they won't pay them.
Right, exactly. No, but they're willing to spend for a half-season, 2-month rental.
Yeah,
they're willing to spend that kind of money, not willing to sign a guy long-term.
Yeah, here's just the perfect argument, right? If you're trying to sell Dante Nori, for example, he's had a bad year in the minor league system, but he looked really good in the World Baseball Classic against high-level competition.
So did Trey Turner a couple of
Well,
years
but where does he?
Stop losing the point.
But where does he fit, Connor, as far as a slap-hitting corner outfielder?
When there are teams that need contact hitters. Like not every team is the Philadelphia Phillies, where you need right-handed power. But I'm just saying that he may be ranked lower today than he was at the start of the season. But if Dave Dombrowski calls somebody and says, this dude tore up high-level pitching on the world stage, you could still sell that guy. So don't get too caught up in the rankings.
I can't believe it's 29.
Let's say don't get too caught up on them being the second worst. If I told you they are a bottom 5 farm
terrible.
system year in and year out,
Oh no,
I don't think you can disagree with that.
Gosh, that's
No,
terrible.
it's an issue. I just don't want people to think they don't have anything they could possibly trade.
It's been an issue that has plagued them for forever, pretty much.
Wow, that's terrible.
And this is why when we talk about the perception of the Phillies, it's fun right now in terms of them making the playoffs every year since 2022. But this, in terms of the history, is a blip. that 07 to 11 was a blip. 93 was you want to talk about a blip. That was a freaking outlier.
That was crazy because it came out of nowhere. There is one point, though, is that the Phillies wake up today. You put out 10 games over 500.
Yes, sir.
Last year, on this same amount of games, they were 12 games over. They were 53 and 39. So they were at that point. They're 14 games over, but they had 2 more wins. In 2024, when they had rampaged through, remember they had that great start and they were killing everybody? They had 3 more wins. They were 54 and 38. And then we know the 2 years they went to the NLCS and the World Series, at this point they had less wins. 50 in 2023 and 49 in 2022. So
just got to get hot at the right time, Johnny.
So as much as I am going, and in 2022 they backed into the playoffs. I mean, it's you have no idea what's going to happen, but it's hard to be the way the amount of holes that they've got. It's hard to see that
I got
long-term
you. Now,
vision.
one thing to point out, we were talking about the run differential in the previous segment, and I said, well, don't forget, some of these were some pretty bad starts from some pretty bad pitchers.
Okay.
I have there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 most runs allowed in a game.
Okay.
9 to as high as 15. They lost 9-0 in one of those games. Taijuan Walker was the starting pitcher.
All right.
They lost 10-4. Aaron Nola was the starting pitcher. They lost 11-7. Aaron Nola was the starting pitcher. They lost 11-2. Jesus Luzardo was the starting pitcher. This was early in the year where he was having his freaking meltdowns.
Right.
He has since turned that around. He's now an all-star. They lost 12-4. Andrew Painter, 12-1. Andrew Painter, 13-2. Taijuan Walker. And then, of course, the horrific 15-1 loss to Kansas City with Christopher Sanchez. But the majority of those losses were one guy who got DFA'd, one guy that got sent down to the minors, and one guy that's here because his name's Aaron Nola.
Well, then what I need to know is I need to know what the Phillies are doing to replace them. To feel optimistic, I need to know, well, we're not going to see those guys, but here's who we've got in their place.
Well, you replaced one with Zack Wheeler. So that was a good start. And now we'll see what they do at the trade deadline, which is less than a month away. All right, what's your perception on any of the teams?
Sure.
Flyers, Sixers, Phillies, Eagles. You're like perception. When you think of these teams, you think of what? And how much could it change with the Sixers if they sign LeBron James? How much has it already changed? 610-632-0975. We checked the Davis Honda text line for the first time coming up next. Also, for the first time ever, Zack Wheeler has shown emotion twice in the span of a week. I like this side of him. I'm also concerned. Are there bad things going on right now in the life of Zack Wheeler? Because we've seen more emotion out of him than ever before.
That's why there's one other reason you should be concerned.
It's Kincade and Salciunas here on the Fanatic.
The FIFA World Cup is entering its biggest matches, and there's no better place to be than Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform. Yesterday, Argentina, a monster 2-goal comeback against Egypt as they go to advance. They won the tournament last time it was hosted. Messi, a big-time goal to draw him even. They got the star power. They got the pedigree. So maybe you think, I wonder what I could get if I traded on Argentina to win the whole damn thing. 18% is the percentage they're trading at right now, meaning $100 trade pays out $501. That's a 401 profit on the team that won it last time. Might be a good deal for you if you want to check it out. And the best part on Kalshi, you're always getting a great deal because you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and make sure you use code Fanatic because you'll get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi. That's Kalshi. Trade the beautiful game. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regular.
Fanatic app.
I'm going to say something that may shock you. I'm a loser.
Well, that's what we say, but we keep it quiet. What do you say?
I
What'd you
just
do?
hit the old refresh button on Twitter, and there's a video of college football 27. I don't know if it's officially out yet or not, or if it's just like the streamers that get the early access. Well, a guy was playing as LSU, and a player jumped on his back, and then he was able to push him off. And somebody said, show me a player in real life doing this, because a lot of people were like, all right, these video games are getting out of hand. So a lot of people started responding to this guy of like the best stiff arms.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just lost, dude.
So you're watching the stiff arms.
Yeah. I have more excitement 60-plus days out for football than I ever had before. And I don't know why, because I usually hate, like, talking football in July, especially when we have had so much other things to talk about. Maybe that's why. Maybe I'm not footballed out in July. And we're going to actually have a discussion on that in the 7 o'clock hour about how we haven't talked about this Eagles team enough because they're going to be good. But man, like I'm jonesing for football right now. Like
Oh, well, you feel it.
Yeah, dude.
You feel it.
Like I'm pumped. I can't wait for this season for the Eagles. I can't wait for the league. And now I'm watching Ricky Williams stiff arms. Like I'm locked in.
I just think of Ricky Williams and go, what a wasted opportunity. What a wasted opportunity. Wasted being the key word.
Yeah.
Wasted opportunity of Ricky Williams.
Not on NFL Street though.
I mean,
nothing
NFL
wasted
Street,
there.
I mean,
Ricky Williams prime.
I can't get it when the world is presented to you on a silver platter and you just go, nah, not good enough.
Oh.
Not good enough. I want other things.
Still got that highlight though, right there on the old computer.
And high being the key word there.
Oh
too.
yeah, man.
He's got that too.
All right. Zach Wheeler has shown emotion now twice within a week. It's a record. You know, baseball's all about breaking records. Zach Wheeler's doing that for himself. Remember his last outing before yesterday, he gets pulled in the 5th inning, and he
wasn't
was
happy.
He was upset with Magic Mattingly.
Oh, he made it clear that he was upset.
Pissed off. Like he didn't sugarcoat it.
Now
man.
you were on vacation. Did you see what he then said the next day? What Mattingly said?
That they didn't talk yet. Or
And he
something
just
like
if he
that?
goes, did you want to talk? And he goes, he didn't want to talk to me.
Yeah.
He did not want to talk to me. And Mattingly goes, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. By the way,
we'll talk. We'll talk. He goes, it's okay.
By the way, I love Zach Wheeler. He wasn't pitching well that game, so
He goes, it's okay.
just
You
saying.
should. He deserved to stay in
I'm
that.
just saying.
He deserved to stay in that game. Yes, Rob Thompson. I'm doing the show with Rob Thompson this morning.
Yeah, it's
He
not the
just-
Philadelphia Zach Wheelers. If the manager says you're out and you win the game, I'm fine with it.
he is- I loved the way the manager handled it, though. It's just great to be able to go, it's okay. I have no problem with him being mad at me because the great ones get mad. The great ones get mad. I have no problem with it. He can be mad at me all at once. We'll talk.
I'm sure Topper would have said something.
Topper
like
be
that
like,
too.
oh, he's mad at me. Oh.
No, that's
Where in the world is
that's
that coming
actually
from?
Not
Come on
true
now.
at all. But whatever.
Topper absolutely assuaged his players. But Don Mattingly does exactly the opposite.
We're back
Don
to
Mattingly does exactly the opposite. Come on. Are you guys going to insist? Are you going to try to say that he handles his players the same way? He does not. He handles his players exactly the opposite way. He calls players out.
Disgust me.
He calls players out publicly.
What?
When players play poorly, he says it.
Yesterday was
he
your
says it
anniversary
publicly.
with your wife.
I was.
John. Yesterday was your anniversary with your wife, and here you are speaking about Don Mattingly.
Well, Don, look, do I want Don to walk?
I know you're lonely right
Do
now.
I want Don to walk out on me? Look, Christina's 770 miles away.
Oh, God.
You know, I mean, it's like she's unpacking that condo.
Love for Mattingly.
Come on. Look, if you don't see the big difference in how he handles players, you're just not watching or listening. He tells you when someone sucks. He tells you. When someone doesn't do something right on the field, he tells you.
Or you're biased.
He calls you out. No, he just calls you
I
out.
think you're biased. You
No,
love
he calls you out.
him. So Zach Wheeler pitches dominant yesterday. 7 innings, 14 strikeouts of the Cincinnati Reds. Just 4 hits, 1 earned run. It was the home run. He gets the win. Great start. But after the game, he was asked about not making the All-Star team. So yesterday, Jesus Luzardo got the nod. Congratulations to Jesus Luzardo, who will now be pitching for the National League if he gets in the game. A couple of players, Mizorowski's not going to be pitching in the National League All-Star game, which means maybe Christopher Sanchez is a starter now. Paul Skeens drops out of the National League All-Star game because of where they're pitching during the week. And so Luzardo gets the nod, but not Zach Wheeler, because Zach Wheeler, running into a similar issue, he's pitching Sunday, right
Which is
before
what
the
Miz is
All-Star game.
doing,
Yep.
which is what Skeens. I think Skeens is doing the same thing.
Yeah, so he's scheduled to pitch, but Zach Wheeler was upset And I understand why, with not being named the All-Star, to then not be put in the All-Star game. Kind of what happened to Christopher Sanchez last year. He could have been named an All-Star. They said, oh, well, he's going to be pitching anyway, so we're not going to name the All-Star. The Phillies, good for the Phillies. Phillies paid him out his incentive last year.
But he declined to go.
Sure.
He could have gone. He declined to go.
So here was Zack Wheeler.
People have rewritten that.
Here was Zack Wheeler outside of his locker yesterday.
I felt like that's kind of a reminder, for whoever needs to be reminded. So, it's pisses me off, and it's kind of BS. So, if I wasn't necessarily right in there, I wouldn't be saying this. But I feel like I've earned it, and just because I pitch on a certain day doesn't. That I get. I don't even know the right word, but just because I pitch on a certain day, I can't pitch an All-Star game or even be there or get the recognition for it. They could have did it a few different ways. Maybe put me in. Maybe I didn't necessarily have to get chosen right away, but I feel like I was right there. So maybe they put me in and automatically just shoot me right back out and put somebody else in. There's certain ways to do it, and you figure they would have a clue about it by now, how many All-Star games they've had. And I think it's kind of just a BS rule that just because I pitch on a certain day, I get punished for it, I guess.
He wasn't happy.
He was not happy.
That's the most emotion that we have seen out of Zack Wheeler ever, and it's been twice in a week.
He's if you can't read between the lines, he's done. He already told you he was done with baseball, that he was walking away from baseball. That's why he signed the contract that he did and everything. He's done. He's finished. He's tired of baseball. He's tired of the BS of baseball. He's tired of the way the sports run. He's done.
So you say that.
He's not signing in. He will not. There's going to be no scenario where he's going, hey, do you think Wheeler's going to come back? If they have a lockout, that he'll come back and
No, I agree with you that he's done. I don't think
He's
it's
finished.
the annoyance of the sport of baseball. I think it's just he realizes that this might be it, and he didn't get a chance to be named an All-Star one more time before
Well, I think
his
that
career came.
pisses him off. I think
Sure, but I don't think he's retiring because he's annoyed with
No.
baseball.
He was already but I hear people spinning Scooby-Doo scenarios saying, oh, I think he'll come back. I think he can get. I think Wheeler can be. He'll get talked back, and he's going to come back.
No,
he's still pitching
if there's
great.
no baseball next year, I don't think we.
I don't
Zack
think you
Wheeler
see him
ever.
again.
No, I don't think so either. By the way, shout out whoever the visiting clubhouse janitor is at Great American Ballpark. Sorry about the sweeping there.
That was the
Well,
Houston,
it was
that was
the
the Houston
Clubbies.
Astros.
It was the Clubbies.
Oh, yeah, was it?
That was the Astros
Fastball.
stealing signs.
I think the
Well, it didn't
Clubbies.
help because Wheeler struck out 14.
Yeah, it didn't. All right, coming up next, check the text line. My bad. Text line on the discussion about the Phillies. Do you even care about the standings pretty much right now, or are you still just worried about who the Phillies are? 610-632-0975. And if the Sixers were to sign LeBron James, how much would your perception of the franchise, the organization, the current status of them change? Because they don't really get roses from a lot of people. There are your, over-the-top lovers of the Sixers, myself.
Yeah, you're one of them.
But how much would your perception change if they were
Surprised you
able to
don't have
get
an
this done?
STD by now.
Wow.
But gosh,
That was
with you and the Sixers.
All right, coming up next, we'll reset our topics, but also we'll get into discussion about the Eagles that we just hinted at. Have we talked about them enough? Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A strikeout party in Cincinnati. I'm Connor Thomas, and this update is brought to you by Corona. Your shot at Home Run Derby and MLB All-Star Game tickets starts with Corona and 97.5 The Fanatic. Join us All-Star Weekend at City Tap House, Morgan's Pier, and Tailgate Sports Bar. Learn more at 975thefanatic.com. Must be 21 plus. Presented by Corona. Zack Wheeler led the strikeout party for the Phillies last night in Cincinnati as they beat the Reds 4-1. Wheeler went 7 innings, striking out 14, not walking a single batter. Kyle Schwarber went yard for the 31st time in the year to lead the offense. Wheeler talked after the game about his snub from the All-Star game despite his strong performance this year.
Of course it did. It's a shame that, the rules are what they are. Just because I pitch on a certain day, can't pitch an All-Star game or even be there. So, it's something that they probably need to look into.
That via the NBC Sports Philadelphia broadcast. The Phils do have a new all-star, though. Jesus Luzardo was named as a replacement yesterday, the first selection of his career. Game 2 is at 7 p.m. tonight. Phils starter still undecided. Chase Burns goes for the Reds. Yesterday, Shams Charania reporting that LeBron James is taking the Sixers offer really seriously. Cleveland, Miami, and Phillies sound like the main 3 options remaining. Adam Schefter will join us coming up at 8:05. This update's also brought to you by the Department of Behavioral Health and Intellectual Disability Services. If you're caring for an adult with intellectual disability, autism, or developmental disability, you may be eligible for support. Visit dbhids.org/IDS. I'm Connor Thomas on the home for the 2026 MLB All-Star Game in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic and the
.97.5 The Fanatic.
All right, coming up later on this segment, I have a very random question to ask John Kincade, being the veteran parent of the show. I will ask Connor, being the non-parent of the show, just your insight, because I'm always curious of the non-parents' insights
I'm glad to give you the wrong answer.
And then everybody at home. I have a very specific to my life question to ask all of you, and I need your help.
It's sort of like I know that the Middays of Marks is doing a spin on the MJ LeBron debate today.
Yes.
And I said, and I texted with them yesterday, and I said, I don't need to hear anybody lecture me that's under 35.
Well, bad news, Johnny. Guess who's joining Middays with Marks today?
Connor Thomas.
They can't tell me anything. Because they didn't watch it.
Ray texted,
they did not watch
Ray
it.
texted me and Connor the other day saying, hey, do either of you have a really strong MJ LeBron take? And Connor responded with yes. Ray said, what is it? And I quickly responded, he thinks LeBron's better despite never watching Michael Jordan
it's like they
play.
never watch. It's like I don't need to hear from somebody who didn't tell me. Like it's like somebody going, Connor saying to me, John, I'm going to tell you what it was like to be a young kid in the 80s.
I could do that.
I'm like, no, you're not.
I bet you it was easier.
Gas was cheaper?
I bet you
I'm
it was
like,
easier.
There's no. Oh, it was much easier.
Yeah, I bet you it was.
There's nothing. It was much easier.
Yeah, no social media to worry about.
Oh,
you didn't have your MySpace top 8, and if you weren't in one, boy,
dude,
look out.
I think that was 90s. I don't even think that was 80s.
Nobody knew where you were going.
Didn't have the internet.
Like,
Couldn't look up if I was wrong.
Nobody knew
I'd
where
be
you were
great.
going. Nobody had their heads in phones.
Yeah.
You actually. Connor,
The Sean Brace feel fact would be strong in the 80s.
You had to actually talk to girls. Now, I know guys are going to find that problem. If you liked a girl, you had to go up into like a bar or somewhere, and you had to go talk to girls to try to meet girls. It's incredible. Guys actually had to have a modicum of game. Yeah. It's amazing.
Different time.
Not swiping.
I got enough to share with you guys if you need it.
Thanks. So I have.
Connor, you would have done well in any era because you have personality and charm.
So I have I have a very specific question coming up later on this segment.
I like this. I can't wait.
All right. Here's what we've talked about so far this morning. I was shocked with the reaction from one John Kincade. Let's check the Davis Honda text line on this. Feel the Davis difference. Check them out in Burlington. Woke up this morning, ready to go, 6 o'clock. Phils are 2 games back in the Braves. I'm fired up, right? And I hate the Phillies roster. I hate them still. But I'm still excited the fact that they were at one point 9-19, at one point 11.5 games back of the Atlanta Braves. And here we are waking up July 8th, less than a month away from the MLB trade deadline, and the Phillies are 10 games over and just 2 games back. I know Atlanta is scuffling.
Oh, they're scuffling
You were
bad.
able to gain ground during also a time where Atlanta wasn't scuffling. There were a lot of big games where the Phillies, those 6 wins against San Diego was not at a time where Atlanta was scuffling. So you were able to tread water even when things weren't going bad for Atlanta.
By the way, when you kicked ass over San Diego, then Atlanta went to San Diego and lost.
Right.
So, I mean, you did things that they didn't do.
Right, absolutely.
But you're trying to make up for that early season where you played like garbage and they played just lights out. So we'll see what happens.
But your reaction was more so like, yeah, but I'm still worried about the Phillies. And I get you.
Yeah, because it's if this was 2024, I feel different. This is 2026, and I feel worse about this team than I did at the same point in 2025, same point in 2024, same point in 2023. I feel worse about this roster, this team, about their chances. I feel less about their chances, considerably less, than I did about the last 3 years after we had that World Series run in 22. I feel less about the roster.
Okay.
Much, and I considerably less.
All right. Well, what do we have on the Davis Honda text line? By the way, I was not saying that MySpace was in the 80s. I was saying that you did not.
No,
have
I
to
didn't have
worry
to deal
about
with any of that.
MySpace.
No, we didn't have to deal with any of
Because I
that.
have people wondering, did I
No,
think
no,
MySpace?
no.
I was saying John had it easier as a kid because
Much
he
easier.
didn't have to worry about MySpace.
Like much easier.
That's what I
had-
thought you were saying,
All
too.
right, there was
No.
2 people that thought
I got it.
You got it wrong,
I got what you
and
said.
Money Mar. So
got
you're
what
on
you
the
said.
same boat
Hell
as
yeah,
him.
Money Mar.
Good job. All right, what do we have on the text line?
Colby in Central PA, he's on the same page, I guess, as both of you guys. He says, I see both Andrew and John's side of this topic. For Andrew, as a fan, I'm happy that they get back to being a relevant team and they're in the hunt for October. For John, I'll agree the Phillies haven't done anything yet. The bullpen has underperformed, which has caused a lack of trust when needing to go to them.
Yeah, I hate this roster, but like I'm maybe it's just the day. Maybe I woke up in a good
that
mood.
could be. And that
you
could
know?
be. Like, to me, I think Brad Keller, I'm truly convinced that after the All-Star break, we're going to see Brad Keller give us a much better performance than we've
Sure
seen in
hope
the
so.
first half. I do believe that.
That would change a lot.
Orion Kirkering, I have seen him be with all due respect, he has been a guy that has not been up to the pressure of postseason baseball 3 consecutive years.
Correct.
I have no reason to believe this year would be any different, especially after last year. So he has been bad, and he was bad again last night. Like, I have no reason to believe that Orion Kirkering's getting better.
I mean, he's got really good numbers this year.
Well, it was terrible. It was terrible again last night. Like, last night was horrendous.
Yeah,
Like, horrendous.
he's had
And just
2 out of his
watching.
last 4 outings have been bad. With,
I mean, it's
with
horrendous.
with the walks. He's been like
He
walking.
can't even come into a game and throw strikes.
Oh,
And
he did before yesterday. He did the outing before.
Yeah, relievers are just finicky, man.
Yeah.
But he's had a really good year.
I
Yeah,
thought
but you don't want finicky, especially
I
when
thought cats were finicky.
you don't want finicky, especially when a guy has already been bad in the playoffs.
Correct.
Like Kerkering's postseason numbers are his numbers. There are guys that can't handle the lights.
And he can't handle the lights.
I mean, you saw it last
we've
year.
seen it 23, 24, 25. He cannot handle the lights.
Yeah.
And so to me, I don't want to be. You can tell me all you want about Orion Kerkering.
Wow, you
I have
know
no
who
reason.
He sounds like?
Who?
He sounds like the Wake Me Up When October comes.
No. For Orion Kerkering, I am. No, for Orion Kerkering, I am. Yeah, absolutely.
Phil's cut the gap to 2, and you're talking about the playoffs.
I came into the year giving Orion Kerkering all the grace.
I'm not talking about Kerkering. I'm talking about this whole conversation.
No. It's where it is, and that's it. Look, I'm going to be objective with you, and it's where it's objective. I'm not giving you is that it's not some big deal when you make up these games when you're not playing that well, and the reason you're making up games is just because the team in front of you sucks more. You're not making it up because when you're playing 500 ball. And you make up 3 games, it's not because you're playing great. Woohoo! It's because the team in front of you sucks more.
Yeah, but you had to play great at one point to even get to this conversation.
You did. You had a nice run.
They did. They had a
which you did.
run. They had the best record in baseball for an entire month.
You had the best record in baseball for 4 weeks. You had the best record in baseball, and now the Marlins for 6 weeks.
All right, yeah,
have the best record in baseball in your division.
Times. You know, I feel great this morning. I do. Shame on me.
We're gonna see where you go.
All right, what's the poll of the day looking like? Brought to us by Dr. Avedon Appel and the team at Iron Mountain Men's Health. I know it's strong. Like I don't have to look all that hard at the poll. But
No
what do we
pun
got?
intended.
All right, so our question today, with the Phillies just 2 games back of the Braves, are you focusing more on their standing in the division or their day-to-day performance? And we've got a strong response on this one. 84% are saying they're focusing on the day-to-day play. Only 16% are focusing on the division.
See, Andrew, I think that's where the listeners are telling you they're with me. They're like, I mean, it's not about. I get. Look, no one's trying to yuck your yum. It's like but you're focusing on something that doesn't matter to most people. The Braves are playing crappy baseball. It's not reason to be like, man, look at what the Phillies are doing. Now let's look at what the Braves are doing. The Braves are
happy
pooping.
they're 2 games back.
But the Braves are pooping themselves. It's not what the Phillies are doing. It's that the Braves are pooping themselves.
And now they still have the 4th best record in baseball. So I wouldn't overstate what's going on with the Braves right now.
Yeah, like I think the Braves could eventually turn things around, much like we
I
all
do
thought
too.
the Phillies would turn things around when they were 9-19.
If they get some health, get some good health their way, they could again. But I think it's the idea is that right now you look at this. Do you like this roster? Do you like this Phillies?
I
okay, you hate it. Do you like the roster? Do you like the Phillies better than you liked them this time last year? You felt better about the Phillies this time last year.
The only reason I'll say I like a little bit more this year is the Luzardo consistency now 2 straight years. I saw him pitch in the playoffs, and I saw him pitch really well in the playoffs. This team is not going to rely on its bats in the play. I said it yesterday when we had Ricky on. This team is going to rely on starting pitching, and right now you have 3 guys that you feel very comfortable with. And who knows if they can acquire a 4th? We'll find out. I'm not dreaming of school ball. I'm
shocked that you feel better about this year's team than last year.
Bryce Harper's playing better this year than he did last year. Schwarber's consistent.
They are the worst defensive team in baseball.
Well, I'm kind of used to that.
They're the worst though.
Yeah, they weren't going to get better.
They are.
Yeah.
They're the worst. And by the way, this team for the Phillies fans, it's just getting older. And they're just getting older and older. And
sure,
it's
I'll worry
worse.
about that in the next 2
Yeah, they'll
years.
be the same age in October.
They're not getting better.
Well, some might have birthdays.
They are bad defensively.
Happy early birthday.
They're a bad defensive team. They are a bad bullpen team. They are 2/5 of their rotation stinks. There's a lot not to like about what
right, but
they're
I
doing.
also don't have to worry about 2/5 of the rotation come playoff time. And hopefully come August 3rd, they acquire one of those bullpen arms that you desperately need. And that's what I'm holding on to. And I will say Dave Dombrowski has made some pretty decent moves at the trade deadline. I just hate that we have to rely on it.
I can't believe why hasn't Dave Dombrowski ever fixed the right-handed bat?
I don't know.
So, I mean, if instead of going and trying to get a duct tape, going and buying Flex Seal
you could have gotten
at the
Pete
trade
Alonso.
deadline, why not go and do something? We couldn't do that, right? I mean, he couldn't do that because that Bryce Harper wouldn't allow that.
That's stupid money, man. Make it happen.
Bryce wouldn't allow that.
Well, they both don't want it.
So he wouldn't allow it.
Play
All right.
Schwarber and left.
What do we have
And
on
DH.
what do we have on the text line? Davis on the text line. Let's
I
hear
want
from,
Connor in there as assistant GM.
hear from the people.
No,
What do we
you
got?
don't. Steve checks in. Now, Steve is always just a beam of positivity on our teams, whatever he texts into the show. We asked the perspective on all of the teams, and
Okay.
Steve checked in on the Sixers, saying the Sixers still have the problem of Embiid's health. Until he is gone, the Sixers are winning absolutely nothing. That is my perspective.
All right,
Okay.
but so the question today is what's your perception on all four teams, right? And especially if the Sixers were able to land LeBron James, how much would that change?
Oh, my gosh.
I understand that the Joel Embiid factor is still very much there, but I don't just look at the organization as a player thing. I look at who's running the show, and I feel confidence in the very, very, very early tenure of Mike Gansey. I felt confidence the second that we knew Bob Myers was going to be more involved, a guy that's won so many championships with the Golden State Warriors. That made me feel better. Look at the Flyers. Flyers finally made the playoffs, but I have felt comfortable and confident in that regime since before they made the playoff run. I felt better about Danny Briere and Keith Jones than I ever did with Chuck Fletcher.
Is it because you just know their names? Or what was it that you gave them?
No,
because neither one of them had a track record.
Right, but sometimes it's just hearing them speak. Like Chuck Fletcher literally had a press conference talking about how they were the fifth most improved team in terms of win percentage because they were one of the worst teams in hockey to one of the slightly worse teams in hockey. Like and he's one of those like Andy McPhail. If we do, we do. We don't, we don't.
No.
Like there are times I don't try to overreact to press conferences often, but there are times where you hear things and you're going,
Oh, it's bad.
If we do, we do. We don't, we don't. That's the message you're pushing the city of Philadelphia. Howie Roseman straight up says you can't rebuild in the city of Philadelphia. Like that messaging gives me confidence that he is going to turn every rock to try to figure things out. Daryl Morey didn't push that stuff. Daryl Morey was doing stuff like, just wait till the trade deadline. Like, I hate that.
And he did. He did. He pushed
would
that.
say
He
that.
pushed that. No, he said it.
that publicly.
And
Don't
remember-
evaluate this team now. Evaluate it after the
And
deadline.
remember the buyout market stuff
Oh,
for like
God.
3 years in a row?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Never happened.
So I get the Embiid fatigue, but it's also everybody that's running the organization.
But I think you are one of the only people who doesn't have the Embiid fatigue.
No, I have it.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
You don't sound like you do.
I wanted him
I'm just being
traded
honest.
after the season ended.
I don't believe you. But you jumped right back in.
Yeah, because
First opportunity, you're like, no,
Well, they
we
got
gotta do
Jaylen
it.
Brown.
No, not first opportunity. First opportunity was Dean Wade. No, they got Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown changed
No, I'm saying
my
is that
entire perception
I understand, but you're back in on him at being that. To me,
of giving it a shot.
to me, I'm like, it's just I can't wait till it's over. I can't
Forward.
wait till the Embiid thing's.
If you acquire a Finals MVP and like an All NBA caliber player,
yeah, that
I think that
changes
should
my
change
perception.
your opinion.
That's
on where
not the
team
first
is.
move.
Not about him. No, it changed. It changes my perception of everybody around him. It doesn't change my perception of Joel Embiid. All these players, Jaylen Brown being here might change my perception of Embiid. Simons being here doesn't change my perception.
Yeah,
of
but it
Embiid.
changes my perception of whether or not this team has a chance with or without Embiid on the court. Because whenever Embiid would be hurt, you knew they had no shot. With Jaylen Brown, I will take the risk of the Joel Embiid health because I think Jaylen Brown can carry a basketball team, especially with Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe. Like, he carried that team with Hugo Gonzalez.
Yeah, I just can't wait till it's till we have another talking point. Well, you guys will have it. You guys are going to have it.
Yeah, well,
You
we're going
guys
to
will
be
be
talking
down with-
finals first.
You guys
By the
will
way,
be-
Hugo Gonzalez, untradeable.
Yeah,
Don't disrespect
untradeable.
him.
You
all
guys
right?
will be there.
All right, Eagles discussion as well. Have we talked about them enough? Now, before anybody goes, yeah, you talked about A.J. Brown every day for months.
That's different.
No. We're talking about the 2026 Philadelphia Eagles. That does not include A.J. Brown. We talked about Kevin Patullo a lot. He's not here anymore. Have we talked about the 2026 Philadelphia Eagles enough? The team that John Kincade is already saying will be in the NFC Championship game. As excited as I am for this season and the fact that I'm talking like jonesing for football 60-plus days out, that's new for me. I'm still not at that level as you are with the NFC Championship game, but I know they're going to be freaking good.
They're going to be good, all right. And what did we do? We talked about the firing of Patullo.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the hiring of Mannion. We talked about the A.J. Brown drama.
Jalen Hurts contract.
We talked about but we have not talked about the Eagles, the team.
Yeah.
And honestly, this is one of the crazy things is that it makes me think we've grown to just taking the Eagles for granted, the Eagles being good, the Eagles being right there. We have taken the Eagles for granted because this year, now a lot of it is self-created by them. I'm going to blame the Kevin Patullo story. That's not us creating it.
That's the Eagles.
That's stupid. That was the stupid hiring practices of the head coach and the fact that Howie Roseman let it happen. The A.J. Brown drama, self-created by drama queen A.J. Brown and all the nonsense that he pulled. That was all created by them. And remember, there were people who were telling us we were creating it. No, A.J. created it all. He's the one who wanted out. He's the one who pulled all that. I mean, it's like we talked about the draft for a couple days because, honestly, we talked less draft than ever because of the fact that the Flyers and the Sixers were both in the playoffs at the time of the draft. We usually talk draft for a good 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Not this year. We talked a couple days because the Sixers and Flyers were both having playoff series. This year, the Eagles have flown under the radar, and I think it's people don't realize what kind of a great team that's going to be taking the field coming up here in, 2.5 weeks, in training camp.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great
No, they're
Eagles
going
club.
to be a great football team this year, and they should get a lot more talk than just all the drama or negative press because you know that in less than how many days till Monday? Where are we at? We're Wednesday right now. In 5 days, we'll be talking about Jalen Hurts' quarterback ranking. And it's going to be it's going to be honorable mention or also receive votes.
By the way, Jeremy Fowler will join us on the show next Tuesday. Monday it comes out, and Jeremy and I were talking yesterday. He's already booked for SportsCenter, Get Up. He has to do the rounds of all those shows on Monday, so he won't be joining us on Monday in the show. He'll join us Tuesday and talk about it. But they already know the number one lightning. It's Jalen Hurts, it's Lamar Jackson. Those are the two lightning rod quarterback discussions.
Yeah.
As far as the NFL. And he knows that they're releasing it on a Monday on purpose.
Sure.
Because they want to get
That's a week of content, baby.
Well, you get that Monday going and get all the shows going right off the bat. So that'll be the topic. And we'll have Jeremy join us on Tuesday on the show.
Well, so Scott McMullen checks in on the YouTube chat. No, you guys haven't talked about the Eagles enough. But to be quite honest, I love it. I'm a big fan of a team flying under the radar a little. Now, the other reason why we haven't talked about them enough is the Sixers made noise this year.
The Sixers have been constant.
Look, by the way, Sixers-Flyers playing in the month of May is part of it, right? Let's be honest. It's hard to evaluate a baseball team in the month of May. We can talk about them, but it's hard to evaluate a team in the month of May. That's when we're normally talking about, all right, what have the Eagles done in the offseason? What did they do with the draft? What could we be looking at this upcoming season? The fact that the Flyers and Sixers both play in the month of May and then gave us that sort of week of after their seasons came to an end of discussion, what can they do better next year, all that stuff. That is part of the reason why it took us till June to sort of mention the Eagles in the post-June 1st date. But, it's actually kind of nice that we have other teams to talk about, too.
I think it's great.
It's not just a lack of respect to the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's trying to say, hey, let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a healthy relationship with the Eagles that we have right now.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be worried about stuff in late June, early July. But normally we are because it's Philadelphia and the Eagles are who they are.
But they have the second best roster according to members of ESPN and, the number 3 running back according to the scouts and executives and coaches.
Yeah, the number 17 quarterback.
Yeah, we'll get into that on Monday. Speaking of the Fowler rankings, the latest position group that came out was edge rusher. The Eagles had a top 3 running back, 2 top 10 corners. Do they have anybody on the edge? Somebody that we completely forgot to talk about yesterday. We'll tell you who next. Also, hey, Sean Rodman. Sean's our associate producer in the back. Get to work. You know the Max Kellerman, Rich Paul podcast? Shout out to the Beer Battered Gummy Shark who chimed in on YouTube.
Beer Battered Gummy Shark.
They had a third co-host. His name is Bob Myers.
Oh!
And Bob may have been doing some political work.
Really? Interesting. I like it.
We'll tell you what next is Bob Myers. He's swimming in the waters.
Oh.
LeBron. All right, we'll get into that coming up next. You're on the Fanatic.
I'm going to tell you that you need a Bradford White water heater in your home. You need one. You got to have one. I can tell you right now, I have to run the water in this temporary apartment that I'm in. I got to run the water for like a minute and a half just to get it up to hot water where I need it. In my home, I never did because Bradford White water heaters are giving you top performance year after year. All the hot water you need on demand because they're built to be the best. So if your current water heater isn't getting the job done, don't put up with it. Ask your plumbing professional about how you can get a Bradford White water heater. Now, you don't get one by going to the big box store and taking one up off the shelf and then just installing it by yourself. What you do is you get in touch with a plumbing professional by going to bradfordwhite.com, putting in your zip code, and they'll find the plumbing pro near you. It's going to help your family stay comfortable and content all year long with all the hot water you need. I'm in 2 showers a day mode right now because it's summertime and I sweat like a pig. Hey, enjoy long, relaxing showers. Run your dishwasher, run the laundry whenever you need it. Bradford White water heaters will keep you very, very pleased. They're the best. And their tankless models and hybrid heat pump models, well, they're going to save you a ton of cash. Visit bradfordwhite.com to learn more, and I can tell you how you heat your water matters. Choose my friends at Bradford White.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phils bounce back in Cincinnati. I'm Connor Thomas, and Zack Wheeler had a strong night for the Phils last night as they won Game 1 in Cincinnati against the Reds 4-1. This coming on the heels of a 15-1 loss in Kansas City, so they needed a bounce back. Wheeler gave that to him. 7 innings, 1 earned, struck out 14 without walking a single batter. He talked after the game with the NBC Sports Philadelphia broadcast about his performance.
First few innings passed, yeah. I was kind of chasing those today, especially, I think once I had 11, I was like, man, I want to try to, get 15, get that personal record. I wasn't able to do it, but, we won the game.
Yeah, somehow that guy's not an all-star. You explain that, Major League Baseball. The Phils do have a new all-star, though. Jesus Luzardo was named as a replacement yesterday, his first selection of his career. Game 2 against Cincinnati is at 7 p.m. tonight. The Phils starter is undecided. Chase Burns goes for the Reds. Yesterday, Shams Charania reporting that LeBron James is taking the Sixers offer really seriously, including other offers from Cleveland and Miami. Cleveland, Miami, and Philly sound like the main 3 options. The Flyers have 2 more days till Anaheim's deadline on a decision on the Leo Carlson offer sheet. We'll keep you updated on that. Adam Schefter will join us at 8:05. Scott Lauber of the Inquirer talks Phils with us at 9:05. This update is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Need better rest? Let Mattress Firm's sleep experts match you with the perfect bed at the July 4th sale. They make sleep easy. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the 2026 MLB All-Star Game in Philadelphia, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
to Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic, and
Bond villain quality to him.
Bob Myers. In a few minutes, we will play you a clip from the latest episode of the Max Kellerman Rich Paul show. What do they call it? Game Over.
Game Over.
It's called Game Over with Max Kellerman and Rich Paul. It's actually pretty good. And if you remember earlier in the week, on Monday, we played the clip from that happened over the weekend where they had the whiteboard. They had the big whiteboard of all the teams that LeBron could have interest in. Rich Paul's the agent of LeBron James, right? So we all know that whatever LeBron's thinking, Rich Paul's thinking. We can hear all the lies we want.
He's got these going like this.
Yeah, we can hear all the lies we want about how LeBron has no say in this. Rich Paul is going to make the decision. LeBron is obviously going to have an impact on the decision here.
Rich Paul works for LeBron.
Yeah, and I found it very
make no mistake about it.
Yeah,
Like,
he works for LeBron.
People are very confused. People are very confused about how agents work.
I think he's a great agent,
But people literally believe that agents tell the client how it works.
Mhm.
That's not how it works. You tell your agent things, and then your agent does what you tell him to do.
right.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
I found it funny. Their last episode. So this is their. I don't know if they do daily shows. I don't know how often they record, but there was the one over the weekend with the whiteboard. Before this one that we're about to play a clip for you, Rich Paul and Max Kellerman were both shocked
Okay.
that the whiteboard visual went as viral as it did. They were both shocked. I was like, get the hell out of here. I work in this business. I know for a fact you weren't shocked, and I know you are celebrating the fact that it went viral because why wouldn't it go viral? LeBron James, one of the best players in the history of the NBA that is still playing at a very high level, is available, and there's 12 teams on this whiteboard, but then you got the teams in the inner circle, and then there's the star next to Tyrese Maxey. Why wouldn't that go viral?
And why wouldn't you be just thrilled?
No, they are thrilled.
Be thrilled. You got to be thrilled.
They were just surprised it went viral. We'll play the clip in a minute. The annual Coaches Executive Scouts poll from Jeremy Fowler.
Yep.
Edge rusher is today's position that dropped. Yesterday on the show, if you were listening in like the 9 o'clock hour, we were doing the top 10 most important Eagles. NBC Sports Philadelphia does this every year. They do their top 25, and they got to number 11 yesterday. So we went to figure out who the top 10 were, and we tried to rank them. And we were like, man, who are we missing? There's no way Jake Elliott is in the top 10.
And we had an oversight.
We completely forgot that the Eagles acquired Jonathan Grenard.
That was a big oversight. On
Whoops. He's number 10 on their list. Dropped today.
Big oversight.
Jonathan Grenard. Now, that's exciting to me that it's an oversight because he's new, and it was a position where they needed to add somebody.
Right.
And so that's exciting to me. He did not make the top 10 list. In case you were wondering, Myles Garrett is number one on this
I would
list.
think that'd be the number one.
No surprise, no Eagle is on the top 10. No Eagle is in the honorable mention. No Eagle is on the also receive votes. A former Eagle was on the also receive votes. My old man crush, Jalen Phillips, made the also receive votes group.
Okay.
But no Eagle. Maybe Jonathan Grenard, because Grenard had a down year last year. If he bounces back, maybe he's on it next year.
Yeah, maybe he's there.
I'm
next
excited
year.
to see him play
I
with
can't
this
wait to
defensive front.
Can't wait to see him play.
Very excited. All right.
Sounds exciting.
You ready
Yeah.
for the moment? So
Yeah.
Bob Myers. I love you, Bob Myers. Bob Myers has already made more of an impact with the Sixers than like half of the executives have over the last 20 years with the Sixers.
Sharp dressed man.
He goes on the podcast with Max Kellerman and Rich Paul.
Okay.
Game over. And Bob Myers.
What does he do that gets you so excited? I can't wait to hear this.
Well, he works for the Sixers, and he sits down with Rich Paul,
No,
who
I
is the
understand.
agent of LeBron James. That's what gets me so excited. Here is Bob Myers saying, you know what? Screw it. This might be my one shot to really make this public.
If he was here, I'd say I honestly believe this is your best chance to win. You have to decide all the other things that are equally important because it's his life, right? He has to play. He has to face the scrutiny of his decision. That'll half people will say you should have done this or should have done that, and they'll criticize him for whatever, which is his life. So he's been through all that. What I would just say is, if it's about winning, and that let's talk about this team because you can win here in Philadelphia.
I love that. And he's smart because he did the whole, hey, it's LeBron's life. Whatever he wants to do. We've talked about it. If LeBron, at the age of 41, the historic career that he's had, says, you know what, this could be my last year. Let me go back to Cleveland and end it where it all started.
Well, he's already sort of said he's going to play 2.
Sure.
So he's not going to play 1. He's going to play 2.
But
which makes it even more desirable to want LeBron here.
Would you blame him for wanting to go to Cleveland for another run? No, I wouldn't blame him for it. All right, hey, it's been my dream to play with Steph. I've played with him on the world stage in the Olympics. I've played with him in the FIBA tournaments, all this stuff. Played with him in all-star games. But a season with Steph Curry, I would love to do that. Would you blame him for wanting to do that? He's 41. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
No, it's and I believe that's what they've already arranged.
So Bob Myers is smart to say, hey, it's his life. Do whatever he wants. But if it's really about winning, he drops the hammer over the head of Rich Paul. If it's really about winning, because he's right, he's not winning a championship in Golden State. They're not going to win. They will not win. Steph Curry and LeBron James would not win a championship together. It would just be a really cool basketball fan season to watch those two play together. Could he win with Cleveland? Yeah, sure. He could win with Cleveland.
So you're telling me there's no shot that Golden State team could win?
I don't think so.
Nah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think they
What's the ceiling?
I think they'd play a solid 50 games.
What's the ceiling?
Conference finals, potentially?
Okay.
They can win a playoff series, yeah. But here, we've been saying it since the trade for Jaylen Brown. The morning after when I joined you guys, this team legitimately has a championship ceiling if LeBron James came here. Even without LeBron James, we're talking Eastern Conference Finals appearance.
We are.
You land LeBron James, Bob Myers is right. If it's about swan song season in Cleveland, go for it, man. If it's about Golden State playing with Steph, go for it. If it's about signing one more max contract, because you're not getting that here, and you want to get one more big payday somewhere, I don't know where that would be.
Well, that would disappoint the hell out of me if that's what LeBron wants.
But if it's about winning, if it's truly about winning, Bob Myers, that was a great move by him.
But you think this is the definitive best spot he's got to have a chance to win?
Yes, and that's bias
because
aside.
NBA people do not agree with you.
That's bias aside.
They're not on NBA, the NBA panel shows. They don't have the Sixers as the spot where you want to go win a championship, but you got to go to the Sixers.
Where do they have him? Where do they have that?
They think Cleveland is where he's got to go.
They have a chance.
They think Cleveland is
him and Donovan Mitchell is a pretty good. That's a pretty good duo.
That's the spot to go. They seem to be Cleveland is the spot to go, and that's the most desirable. Denver's called. Come on,
he's not.
But
that's not.
Wait a minute. Denver's they've talked. The two sides have talked. Supposedly, they've talked just like they've talked to the Sixers. You mean to tell me he couldn't win in Denver?
Yes. If he's staying in the West, he's doing it to stay with Steph Curry. And
by the way, that entire offense goes through Nikola Jokic, like the entire offense. Like it's give the ball to Nikola Jokic. He's either scoring or he's just averaging 20 assists a game.
While Embiid has been here, what has the ball done for the most part? Disappear when it goes in.
Yeah, but Embiid's not the facilitator of this offense.
Yeah. LeBron James could literally be your point forward.
Okay. And then what is that going to do? What Embiid are you going to get?
You figure it out, man.
You're going to get Mopey Embiid? You're going to get...
I
no, but that matters, though. He's picking a spot. He's picking a spot to go try to win a championship.
Hey,
You're talking about winning.
He tried recruiting LeBron before.
Nothing about winning usually involves Joel Embiid.
I think he won a gold medal alongside Joel Embiid.
Yes, he did,
and
man.
I don't think
he's the reason why they won.
And they're
one
not
of those
looking
games.
at no one is going. Yeah, you know what? You want to win? You go and you look for Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid has been sitting on the block waiting for somebody to come and take him, and nobody calls. Nobody in NBA circles is calling for Joel Embiid. The way you guys speak of him is not how he's spoken of in NBA circles.
I'm not saying teams should call for him.
No, but I'm saying is that, but the way you guys talk about him is the way NBA execs do not talk about him.
Yeah, because
he's not talked about as this guy
it's
that's
when healthy. Like that's all
right.
it is.
So nobody.
That's all it is.
No, it's a big part of it. But the thing is, and they also know his unprofessionalism is public. They know what kind of a guy.
If he
is.
was healthy, people would forget about unprofessionalism.
I don't believe
that.
See, I don't believe that.
Oh, I
do. What is LeBron as far as trying to win? LeBron is a complete professional. Completely dedicated, 365 every day, no days off. Do whatever you got to do, but work as a team. Work, push it. Everybody focused. Everybody doing the things that they got to be doing. LeBron and Embiid couldn't be too far to the different people.
That's why one guy's LeBron.
Yeah.
Very
I understand.
few
Not
people
many
on
of
the
those.
planet are LeBron.
But he gets to pick his spot of who he's aligned with.
Yeah,
But
but
it's
maybe
not
he's
the
not
Philadelphia
picking for
Joel
Embiid.
Embiid's.
Maybe he's picking
Yeah.
for Jaylen Brown. Maybe he's picking for a fellow clutch man in Tyrese Maxey.
And he
Maybe
could-
he's picking for VJ Edgecombe.
And he could be, but he's got to say to himself, it's all part of the package that he's got to deal with here.
Yeah, and it might be the best package. I believe it is the best
It
package.
could be. I think, I'm not disagreeing with you.
And so
I
that's
think
why
it's-
when Bob Myers
I think it's a better
says-
pack. I think it's a better package than Cleveland.
Yeah, so that's why when Bob Myers says, look, if it's about winning, it was a great move. It was a very smart, like almost evil, twisted way. Hey, it's your life. Do whatever you want, Bron. Like, if you want money, go to that place. If you want the Steph thing, go over there.
Sure.
You want to do the return home to Cleveland, go for it. But if it's about winning, Philadelphia's the spot.
It's a better spot than Cleveland.
I love you, Bob Myers.
Come on, Bob.
All right, land the plane, Bob.
Be like Danny.
Land the plane. Bob and Mike. Gansey. Because Gansey plays a role in this, too.
Sure he does.
But this is you know what, Bob Myers was John Middleton here. Remember John Middleton was like, hey, Matt Klemtag, you did a great job, but I'm going to fly my private jet to go see Bryce Harper. This is Bob Myers doing that. Mike, great job.
Get out of the way.
I'm going to do this with the LeBron thing.
I'll finish it now.
Hey, I have as many rings as Steph Curry. That's what. Let's get more.
Get him a jersey.
All right, coming up next is today's
jeez.
headlines with Connor Thomas here on The Fanatic.
All right, I got to tell you all about the baseball season being in full swing. You could trade every single game on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every game, futures, and even the All-Star events. And as we draw closer to All-Star weekend here in Philadelphia, maybe you want to take a look at Philadelphia tonight. They're in Cincinnati, and they just had a nice win. 4-1 in last night's game. Maybe they keep that momentum. You also might look at how many times Cincinnati struck out in that game and say, there's not really a lot of offense there that you can count on. Well, Philadelphia currently trading at a 45% chance to win tonight. They're the underdogs with no decided starter, meaning a $100 trade is going to pay out $209 if that's correct. And they need to roll into the All-Star break hot. They're a motivated team. You want to look at that? You can do that on Kalshi. The best part is you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and make sure you use code FANATIC to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi. Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
Got something to say about Philly sports?
Text us on the Davis.
More of Kincade and Salciunas coming your way now.
We got today's headlines with Connor Thomas coming up in a minute. Last segment, I was just losing my mind over Bob Myers straight up saying, yo, Rich Paul, best chance for LeBron James to win a championship is here in Philadelphia on the podcast with Rich Paul and Max Kellerman. Much better than what Richard Jefferson had to say. I hate this crap. I like Richard Jefferson. Richard Jefferson was on the road tripping show with Clutch Points, or maybe, I don't know. I don't know what Clutch Points is. Whatever.
Okay.
Quote, he told me, but I can't tell anybody. He knows where LeBron's going. He just can't tell anybody.
Yeah, sure. So
Get the hell out of here. Like, get the hell out of here, dude. Like, with he told me, but I can't tell anybody.
Come on.
And now it's a
Maybe
clip.
he did, but
now
like,
it's a clip that's going viral, and it's, what did this do for anybody? All right, Bob Myers continued on the podcast with Max Kellerman and Rich Paul. Game Over podcast. This was Bob Myers with more on LeBron.
LeBron's basketball brain is, he knows the answer better. If I asked that, he would have an opinion that I would say, well, that makes sense. Because he knows. So whatever place he chooses, I think all I could talk about would be winning and organizationally support. But if there's other reasons, it's completely fine.
It's like you're on a show like The Bachelor or something, and you're trying to get the girl, and everyone's going the hard sell, and you're doing the soft sell.
Well, it doesn't matter honestly, let's be honest. Whatever I say.
I've never seen The Bachelor, but I assume that's how it works. Right?
Max, whatever I say doesn't really matter to what he's going to do.
Right.
Let's be honest. And I'm okay saying that.
No,
it's
it
fine.
doesn't.
It doesn't matter.
No.
So it doesn't
But
matter
the
what I
fact that
say.
Bob is there at the top means that you have
I
a
don't
certain.
know. Maybe,
Rich always
maybe.
talks
Bob
about
is my friend.
Right, but
He's my
what I'm
friend.
saying is,
When
Rich,
you
in
need
terms of
something.
your analysis and counsel, you think that human capital at the top of organizations is important, right? In terms of setting the culture.
No, absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Like I said this at the start. Whatever you guys decide.
He decides.
Whatever
Yes.
okay. He would whatever he decides. He's well equipped to make the decision, right? This isn't an 18-year-old.
No.
This isn't a
And we
25-year-old.
don't care about what somebody else
Yeah, he
has
doesn't.
to say.
It's up to LeBron, but Bob Myers, my buddy. Bob Myers, Rich Paul, good friends.
Bob Myers just has a way about him that he's a boss.
He's a confident
Because
executive.
exactly. He says what he means. He means what he says. He just says it. And there's no pussyfooting around.
Yeah.
He's a guy who's there and he's just doing his thing and he's going to tell you exactly what he thinks.
I love you, Bob Myers. All right.
I'm a big fan of his work and I was very unfamiliar with it other than just knowing his name. I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed when you hear him talk.
He's a gangster, man. All right, it's time now for today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with the Connor Thomas.
What's up, Z?
It's brought to us by Lundy Law for over 70 years. Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. We've had multiple requests to just have the subs the in the intro just added in because you do it every day.
Yeah.
We're working on it. We'll start with Captain Panderer. Back at it again. Bryce Harper is releasing his Under Armour Harper 11 signature cleats, and it's got a very Philadelphia style to it. He's going with a SEPTA-themed cleats.
Yeah,
as
so
the
let me
release.
ask you something. I think you're wrong. You
What?
can't say panderer. Because who is he pandering to with SEPTA?
I don't know,
Not
dude.
many people like SEPTA.
No, it's a hey, look, I'm a big Philly guy. And
Yeah,
I'll
but-
tell you this, I'm going to give you the amount of times that he's ever ridden SEPTA,
Yeah, zero.
that's pandering.
Yeah.
So that is the definition
Yeah, but
of
he's
pandering.
pandering to the government more than
No,
he's
he's saying-
pandering
he's
to,
saying-
to a Philadelphia
He said,
fan.
you plebeians that you ride public transportation. Look, your king sits up here and look. I'm wearing shoes.
Are
as I
you a
get in and out
SEPTA
of my
guy,
limo.
Connor?
Not
I know
really.
you
I love
do it.
I love SEPTA. I have no problem with SEPTA. I love the regional rail.
You SEPTA Philly?
Regional rail. I have. I'll take the subway back from at Temple. No problem with that. I have no problem with SEPTA.
Until they invent the convertible bus, I'm going to take the Mustang.
Okay.
Even though I will tell you that Kevin Kincade put up a picture last night, and I can tell you that I did supply him with the picture of the lady who sat behind me at the World Series in 2022. So if you see Kevin Kincaid's feed from Crossing Broad, she had a SEPTA hat that was self-made.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
That was from she sat behind me
Oh, how about
at the
that?
2022 World Series, and when I saw the SEPTA story, I said, "This is what she had."
Yeah.
Her and her husband had Septic gear.
Yeah, so if you need some cleats for the next time you're taking the bus, Bryce Harper's got you.
That's great.
Apparently. If you need a big-time goal in the World Cup, there's one man who's been proven to have you. That would be Lionel Messi.
Yeah, you asked us yesterday. Is there a debate? No, there's no debate.
Is it Lionel?
The Messi-Ronaldo debate, there is no debate.
Yeah, and yesterday, Argentina goes down 2-0 to Egypt. They come back and they get one. They would end up winning the game, but who else would have the game-tying goal but Messi? Now, we
also
could be
assisted the first goal.
Yes, we could be real.
Look at me talking pitch.
Buddy, look at you. We could do the easy way, and we could play the American broadcast. But I think it's a lot more fun to hear the Spanish broadcast of the Argentina tying goal yesterday. Here's what it sounded like.
Otra vez Messi. Se debía la pelota que cae al área. No pudo Julián Messi.
It's the best.
Somebody get that guy his voice checked. He's
best,
losing
man.
it. That was a great goal.
Did this just become it's not just become a thing because I know it's always sort of been it, but did one guy do it and then everybody else just decided to copy it?
Probably,
Yeah, I imagine.
So everybody else just
somewhere,
decided somebody screamed in the play-by-play and then everybody else just decided we're all going to scream?
Probably.
I mean, it's been a soccer thing for decades.
Oh, I know it has, but I'm saying did
and
somebody
it's more exciting
start
than what we get.
I disagree with you. I don't like this.
I'd rather hear that a billion
I don't like
times
the
out of
screaming.
For soccer's boring enough. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, that's terrible. See, that's terrible.
I'm gonna have
We're
the
just
mob.
talking about the
I'm gonna have
score.
the mob
See, now
after
you're
me.
done.
So Argentina moves
You're
on.
done. Your mentions are rip.
I'm a 4-year expert.
Rest in peace.
I'll tell you who's not boring right now.
Who's
It's the
that?
Kansas City Royals. So the Royals, of course, just rounded out a series against the Phillies where they won 15-1 in the final game of that series. They've just shortly become one of the more interesting teams in baseball, being the worst. And yesterday, well, we saw the worst side of it. A little league home run, the likes of which you probably never heard before. This was the Royals trying to defend against the Mets.
Little tapper left to the mound. Lugo fielding, throwing on the run, and it gets on by Caglione. That'll bring in the game's first run as Ewing scores. Bichette to third, and all the way to second goes Benj. Now it's thrown to the backstop, and Bichette digging for the plate. He scores. Now the ball gets away again, and Benj will score.
Three
I love
throwing errors on the same play.
3 errors, and you know what? The Mets still lost that game
16-12.
I mean, that was terrible.
Insane, man. 28 runs scored in one game. That's
And the
wild.
other wild part of it was Tyler Tolbert, who finished off the series against the Phils with a 5-for-5 performance, had 2 hits in his final 2 plate appearances in Game 2 of that series. He had 5 more last night. He hit in 12 consecutive plate appearances, tying an MLB record. So if you want entertainment, they might not win, but Kansas City Royals are entertaining.
Yeah, they sure are. All right, good job, Connor. Coming up next, we have Adam Schefter. It's a Adam Schefter Wednesday, so we get to talk some Eagles with him. Does he have any insight on LeBron James? He's broken NBA stories before.
Could it be?
I will ask Adam Schefter if he has heard anything about LeBron James.
Why not?
That's going to there's your tease for the Adam Schefter interview. Yeah, sure, we'll talk Eagles. But does Adam Schefter have any insight on LeBron James? That comes your way next. Also, I got to ask you this very personal question. I forgot to get to it. About teaching my son to do something.
Uh-huh.
It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, FanDuel Sportsbook app. Let's talk about it. On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore with FanDuel Super Sub. If your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That means if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with whoever the substitute is. This is actually even better now that Team USA is out because other than Messi, I don't know anybody. So, all right, I'll put a bet on this guy, and if I see him walking off the pitch after not scoring, I'm going to be pretty upset until I remember, oh, wait, the FanDuel Super Sub. That means my chances of a goal being scored by that player still continues. All you got to do is check out FanDuel.com/local to get started now. That's FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. You got to be 21 plus. Present in Pennsylvania. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Wheeler shuts down Cincinnati. I'm Connor Thomas. And Zach Wheeler had a monster night on the mound for the Phillies as they won the game 4-1 over the Reds in Game 1 in Cincinnati. Wheeler, 7 innings, 1 earned, struck out 14, walked none. Sounds like an all-star caliber line. Unfortunately, Wheeler was not selected to the National League All-Star team, but he was great last night. He talked about the snub from the All-Star game after with the NBC Sports Philadelphia broadcast.
Of course it did. It's a shame that, the rules are what they are. Just because I pitch on a certain day can't pitch an All-Star game or even be there. So, it's something that they probably need to look into.
Well, he's an all-star to us, true all-star, not that Zack Wheeler isn't, but is Jesus Luzardo. He was named as one of the replacement options for the National League yesterday, his first all-star selection of his career. Game 2 is at 7 p.m. tonight. The Phil starter is still undecided. Chase Burns goes for the Reds. Yesterday, Shams Charania reporting that LeBron James is taking the Sixers offer really seriously, noting that Cleveland, Miami, and Philly sound like the main 3 options for James' next team. We'll be watching that closely. Flyers have 2 more days till Anaheim's deadline on a decision on the Leo Carlson offer sheet. We'll keep you updated when we hear news on that as well. Adam Schefter joins us coming up next. Scott Lauber will join us at 9:05 to talk a little bit of Phillies. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the 2026 MLB All-Star Game in Philadelphia, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Kincade and Salciunas, Phillies Sports Talk, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, it's 8 a.m. here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We'll soon be joined by Adam Schefter, coming up at 8:05. All right, but a couple of things. First, I need our man 215J Philly on our YouTube chat to call in.
You need him to call in.
I need him to call in because I actually need to have a conversation. He is so anti-LeBron. What hates him.
Okay, what does he give? Because he's a good follower of the show.
Yes, he's a big Jordan. He's a big Jordan guy.
Okay, well that's good. You can be a good Jordan guy and still respect like I am.
Yeah,
I'm a Jordan over LeBron as far as just in the. But it's like choosing between the finest gold, the finest platinum. I mean, you're talking about.
No,
great.
he hates him so much so that he's disappointed with my excitement for all of this.
Wow.
Yeah, like he hates LeBron.
Okay,
and so
I get it.
I know that he's not alone, but I know that he exists. I've talked to him personally in the past, and he is a part of our YouTube chat every morning.
Okay.
So I need you to call in because we need to get to the bottom of stuff like this. Like, what is your weird hatred for one of the greatest players of all time?
I have to understand it too because there's things about LeBron and some of his histrionics, his antics and everything that I'm not a big fan of. But
sure.
But his
is he good at basketball?
He's been freaking awesome.
Yeah, and it's not like he's Brady. Like I understood the hate for Brady because he took a Super Bowl from us. The Sixers have never really run into the contention window of LeBron, so it's not like he's hurt Philadelphia in the past. I don't get it at all.
He just commented, "This isn't about Jordan and LeBum." Well, if it's not, then why are you calling him LeBum?
Yeah, I mean, LeBum.
LeFraud, I saw that earlier.
LeBum.
What does he help the Sixers, yes or no?
Yes.
The answer is yes. So why don't you want him? I need to get to the bottom of this. All right, real quick. I have found a new obsession of a Twitter account. It's stupid.
What is it?
I've always followed them actually. NBA Cobwebs. They show.
I don't know that one.
They show random highlights from like way back in the day. They do this day in histories and all that kind of stuff. Well, right now, he's dropping random summer league rosters from over the years. So he just dropped the 2006 Cleveland Cavaliers Summer League, which is right around the time when LeBron James was there. And the first name that's on there is a Lithuanian. And his last name actually includes my actual first name, which is Andrus. His last name is Andruskevicius. Like, that sounds horrible to try to learn how to spell as a kid, which gets me to my question. When do I try getting Coop to learn how to spell Salciunas?
Oh,
it's
a good one.
Salciunas is harder than Kincade.
Yeah.
But you do that in pre-K.
Well, he's going into that this upcoming fall.
Well, then pre-K. That's when it's done. It's do it in pre-K.
He's got Cooper down.
By the time the kid
Cooper, he's got it down.
Okay, well then he's going to be fine. He'll pick up Salciunas in no time.
Hey, Cooper's kind of easy though.
No, you just do it in just little blocks. You do it in like Kincade, Kincad. You do Kincad. So you'll do Salciunas in Sal. So you do the Sal. You teach him the Sal.
Sal.
And then you do that, and that's how you do.
CIU. And then when he's learning about CH sounds in school, he's going to be like, wait a minute. Why
this is all about spelling and everything like that. So by the time that kid goes to kindergarten, he should be able to write his name.
Connor?
I say you just don't teach him and see if he picks a better name.
This is like the LeBron stuff.
Yeah.
You don't ask people who don't have kids. They shouldn't be involved in these conversations.
I thought that was a great contribution.
I appreciate the insight.
I used to love it when Doc, my brother, I love my brother, but my brother would say something to him, like about us with our daughter. I'd be like, look, you don't have kids. You don't have kids. Don't tell me that. Oh, you're tough on her. Yeah, I don't hear I'm tough on her. You don't have kids.
I see. No. When does he learn how to spell Salciunas?
By the time he goes to kindergarten, he can write his name.
That's that. Well, hopefully.
So he's got plenty of time.
He's got plenty of time. All right, joining us now, as he does every single Wednesday.
Adam can write his name. I know he can.
I know he can do that. And maybe, I don't know if he can spell Salciunas. Adam, if I put you to the test right now, can you spell Salciunas?
I bet I could. I would say it is S-A-L. Oh, boy. C-I-U-N-A-S.
Ah, he got it. That's a great Google search on your part there, Adam Schefter. We're trying to figure out, when do I get my son to try to spell it? He's 4. That's a pretty tough last name to spell.
I said by kindergarten he should be writing his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, by kindergarten.
All right.
By kindergarten.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
Shefty, you know we're going to talk Eagles with you, but I got to ask, as the #1 NFL insider that there is, I know you've dipped your toes in the water of basketball. So are the Sixers going to sign LeBron James?
I might be in the minority. I still think that he's going to wind up in Miami. That's my guess. It's just a guess. I had somebody text me at the outset of free agency that you might want to check into LeBron in Miami, like right away. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And so that's just has always stayed in my mind that I wonder if this person is going to be right. And I also think this, and I don't think it should be underestimated, and I think people are overlooking it. He has become a rabid golf fan, fanatical about it.
Oh.
So where could he play golf all the time? In Miami.
Dude, that's a great point.
He could. He's become or 2 in California. You can also.
But he's leaving there.
Yeah, but no, he could go to Northern California and play for Steve Kerr.
Yeah, he could do that.
And he could do that, but and he can, and him and Steph can have the, that storybook end with Draymond.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Because you can't play golf here. I can tell you, I 5 months, 5 months, consecutive months, I did not play golf because of the weather.
Dude, that's a great point.
It sounds like it's Cleveland, Philadelphia, Miami, and I haven't. I mean, not that I'm paying so much attention. I haven't heard anybody bring up the golf point. And honestly, every time I'm on social media, the guy's playing golf. He's watching golf, and this is over the last year or so. Where can he do the most of that? And he can do that in Miami.
Connor's looking at a new apartment, and it has a golf simulator.
I mean,
he can do a golf simulator with Connor.
On the couch.
Adam, it's the truth. 5 months, 5 consecutive months, I did not post a score in my USGA, putting in my scores because of the weather here. You couldn't play golf, and that's a negative draw.
I actually I think that enters into the process. Maybe I'm delusional, but I just do.
Quality of life can be an issue for these type of things.
Yeah.
When they explain a little bit of when players are, because we've been talking about this, when big time players have free agency, have that opportunity to pick their spots. The relationship between players and agents, when the agent's a big time agent, like a Rich Paul is a big time agent. You've dealt with big time agents in the NFL. How much sway, how much swag do they have in steering the client to a spot?
Well, their job is to service their client and to accommodate his wishes. And so, I mean, I think an agent can have a voice and say, hey, look, I think this Miami thing's a great idea. Think about it this way. And so you can help sell it, but ultimately it's the client's decisions and the client's wishes. And the client is a family. And so as much as the agent may matter, I'm going to guess that, you know, the voices around them, wife, children, they also matter. There's a lot of voices. The agent is one voice. One voice.
All right. Shefty, I guess we'll talk some Eagles with you now that we have you here.
Sure.
We are in the lists conversation and summer content in the NFL, and I go to ESPN.com frequently to read a lot of it. One of the things that popped up that I found really interested was the top rosters in the NFL from a starting position standpoint, all 11 on offense, all 11 on defense. And it was a trio. Adam Schatz was one of them. Mike Clay was one of them. Seth Walder, I believe, was one of them that put it together. And the Eagles came in at number 2, the second best roster in the National Football League. And John and I noticed something yesterday. Other than A.J. Brown drama, we haven't talked about them that much from a team standpoint. What are some of the things that you're hearing, talking to executives and coaches and scouts going into another year about the Eagles? Are they just once again that consistent, constant threat to being a Super Bowl contender?
I think that's a fair way to look at it, like that people view them as a good team, but people also know they're coming off a down year where they weren't at their best, and people are waiting to see whether they can take the jump back. Again, I've brought it up before. I'll bring it up again. Can the offensive line stay healthy and stay together for the whole year? I think that's as pivotal a factor with this team as anything that there is going into the season. And if the offensive line can stay healthy and they can get some contributions from some of these other receivers, offensive coordinators, yeah, I mean, they, like everybody else, they've got questions to answer. That's what the whole season's about. So I don't care where anybody's ranked right now on July 8th. Doesn't mean anything to me. There are going to be teams that build up momentum, look good, get things going. There are going to be teams that get injuries, that suffer setbacks, that have training camp advert. Like, it's just, I mean, I guess it's a fun thing to talk about July 8th, but it means next to nothing to me right now. Nothing.
It is pretty incredible when you look at the how these teams are ranked. We've been talking about how the evaluation, when you see an evaluation that's done by executives and front office people of players, and you see one that is done by players on players, what do you put more weight in?
Well, that's a good question. I put weight into both. It's not like I'm.
Oh, I know, and we do too. We put respect on both. But if you were to look at it and say, I put a little more credibility in what players think of players or what the executives think of players.
Oof. I mean,
I didn't realize this was going to be such a hard question.
It's easy for me.
I stumped the chef.
I say the executives. It's easy for me.
And I say the players.
So that's why you got to be the tiebreaker, I guess.
And I've been going back and forth in my own mind. So like, that just tells you I'm happy to ride that fence because, you know, these executives, they do it for a living, but the players, they're going up against the players. It's just two different vantage points. I don't want to slight either one. I really don't.
Yeah, my pushback on the players one, you're right about they go up against each other maybe twice a year. If you don't face a team in a season, which that happens, if you're playing 4 o'clock, you're on the field warming up at 1, you're playing at 4, and you're missing probably half of the Sunday night game. So how am I supposed to really, truly appreciate their evaluation when they didn't see anything? That's my point.
They're studying film. So if the Eagles are playing the Giants this week and they're watching film of their offensive line or their corners or whatever it is, like you're watching them enough and you're studying and getting enough of a taste and you're seeing guys that impress you.
Well, you also don't play half the league every single season. So there's a lot of times where you might not see a player for a second and you're going to say, oh, but I've heard he's good, so I'm going to rank him pretty high. Whereas the executives and scouts and coaches.
If we're going on hearsay doesn't mean a lot to me. But, I mean, I think there are players who are studied and really look after people, and those players know. They know. Now, if it's some guy that's not devoting any time to it, then that's opinion that doesn't mean a lot.
It has been seems like a very quiet off season for the most part, except some big names move, but for the most part, sort of a quiet off season for the NFL. It's like a news cycle that has been more dominated by the sports. Has it seemed quiet to you as a guy who tends to break stories?
I think it's been your typical off-season. I mean, let's think about this for a moment. You did see A.J. Brown being traded. You did see Myles Garrett being traded. You did see 10 teams, I think, make head coaching changes. You did see a slew of free agents change teams. To me, it was your typical NFL off-season. It wasn't one of the busiest ever. It wasn't one of the slowest ever. I don't think there's such thing as a slow off season anymore in the world we're living in when there's so much attention on every little thing. But if you go back and look at all the trades that were made this off season, I think you'd have a hard time saying that it was a slow off season. I mean, there were an incredible number of trades that were made throughout the year. And, I'm just trying to go back and see if I can find my list right now because I had a list at one point of all the trades that were made, and it's not coming up quickly on my phone. So, all right, well, anyway, there were more trades this offseason than there were any other offseason. And whenever you get that many trades that are made, that just tells you that it's a really busy offseason, and it was.
Is that the direction that the league's taking? I feel like we've had this conversation every trade deadline where it's gotten more and more busy than it used to be. Is trades going to be one of the more prominent ways to acquire players moving forward in the NFL?
Well, it's funny you ask that, and I don't know if I've mentioned this to you guys before, and if I have, forgive me. But in my mind, I always viewed my job, the league, as like there were 3 really, really busy periods. Number one was free agency. And I don't mean like just that week. I mean like the 3 weeks of March, from March 1 to March 20. Those were always, to me, the 3 busiest weeks of the year. The second busiest week of the year to me was at the end of the season when coaches are getting fired, coaches are getting hired, and you're getting ready for the postseason where we as a network will have pregame shows Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So whereas in season there's a pregame show on Sunday and Monday, it's like there's a whole added one on Saturday. And that's crazy when the teams are firing coaches and hiring and interviewing every day. And then the draft. Those would be the 3 busiest times of the year. And I said that for years and years and years. But I will now say, and this is only in the last couple of years that I would put this there, that the NFL trade deadline now belongs with those 3 other busy times. That's one of the single busiest times in the NFL count. And I never would have said that before. But over the last 2-3 years, if you look, I think there have been about a dozen trades made in that, maybe just on trade deadline day, but certainly in the week leading up to trade deadline day. And that doesn't include, the 1 or 2 weeks before that. So that has elevated itself to a really busy time because the league trades more and more and more. So that there's a lot to that.
All right, now 2 more things for you. One from a national football standpoint, and then one that's a lot more closer to a specific team. Yesterday, the NFL schedule for next year, and I'm not talking about W's and L's, I'm talking about everything else that goes in. How crazy will the scouting combine be? In case people didn't see it, the scouting combine next year will be March 1st to March 8th, and free agency begins March 9th. How crazy will the rumor mill be the week of March 1st be in 2027?
Well, again, I'm going to go back to what I just said. I said before you even asked me that it's the 3-week period from March 1 to March 21st. So it's just one big continuation. And I think of myself, I'll probably go to Indianapolis now and just stay in Indianapolis and go live at Pat McAfee's Thunderdome. Like, that's what I'll probably want to do. I'll be downtown for the drills, and then we'll go right to Pat McAfee's studio, and Indianapolis will be my home for the first week in March next year. Maybe the first 10 days is going to be great.
All right, tell me I have a conspiracy theory here, and tell me that I'm just reading too much into it. There's no date for the Atlanta Super Bowl in 2028.
What are you getting at? So
there's no date for the Super Bowl for not this year's Super Bowl. We have a date. There's no date for the Super Bowl the year after. We always know the dates of Super Bowls 2-3 years out. Why is there no date for the Super Bowl?
We didn't learn the date of the Washington D.C. draft till about a couple of weeks ago.
No, the Super Bowl. We always know the date. We always know the dates of Super Bowls 2-3 years out. The Atlanta people do not know the date of the Super Bowl for 2028. Why is that?
I have no idea.
Does it mean that they think they could go to an 18-game schedule? Is what I'm getting at. I'm not springing something on you, am I? Like the hotels, hotels and the restaurants are pissed because the hotels and everything are pissed because they're like they're making them whole blocks of rooms, hold things because they haven't chosen the date of the Super Bowl yet, and that's very suspicious to me.
I just have assumed that starting this year that the Super Bowl is just going to be the night before President's Day every year. So whatever date that is, that's what I would expect for the Super Bowl, even if it's not official yet. I mean, to me, that's sort of how it
makes sense. It's what it really what it should be. But
like I don't find any great drama and mystery.
Well,
and like whatever that Sunday night is, that's what I expect.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you: is Dork Boy here, me research it is we've known Super Bowl dates 4 years out, 3 years out, forever. We don't know the Super Bowl 2 years out, the date of it.
Well, that is
that's suspicious. That's suspicious.
But here's the thing: I still think in 28, that still seems like it would be very quick to get an 18-game season. I think.
Well, you don't know. Just saying. Keep your eye on it.
Shefty, you're the man.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong.
I'm just saying there's something suspicious about it because we know dates. We've known dates 4 years out, 3 years out, the dates of games, and we don't know the date now 2 years out.
I'll ask.
You ask for me.
I'm going to make.
Ask for me.
I'm going to make some inclusions.
My man.
Yeah,
and you can credit me on SportsCenter. It's okay.
You're the man, Shefty. We appreciate the time. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks guys.
See you, Adam Schefter. One thing I wanted to get into. You see the Seth Wickersham story about Sean Payton?
Oh, you mean where he was going to put Bill Belichick?
Did you see that, Connor?
No, I didn't.
Seth Wickersham wrote a story that Sean Payton considered taking an assistant job.
Yeah, but Belichick.
He was the head coach of the Broncos.
Right.
He would have moved to the assistant chair to let Belichick be the head coach to break Don Shula's record. And then Belichick would leave, and Payton would go back.
Didn't consider it.
Doesn't sound like he'd be moving to the assistant chair.
But Belichick didn't
I
consider
call it a different type of chair.
Yeah,
That's Sean Payton's just
if you read the comments, that joke has been made a lot.
Damn, the internet got to a joke before me?
All right, coming up next, we go from the number one NFL insider to the number one NBA insider. If you missed it earlier, Shams Charania talking about the Sixers and what they have been able to accomplish in terms of getting the attention of LeBron James. You'll hear that next. And if you also missed it earlier, Bob Myers, gangster, goes on the podcast with Max Kellerman and Rich Paul, the agent of LeBron James, and made his case for LeBron the Philly. You'll hear both of those next here on The Fanatic.
I can tell you, Benari Jewelers, Exton in Newtown Square, they're absolutely awesome. And they want to teach you how to buy a diamond like you're an insider. Great selection. Hand-selected stones from the world's top diamond cutters. And you're going to find exactly what you're looking for. They're going to design you a custom ring, too. They're going to help you be a part of the whole process, too, with their 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. So that means down the road, when you're ready to upgrade that ring, your diamond will never lose value. Try doing that anyplace else. It's peace of mind. No pressure, no pretense, with a great, great team that knows their stuff. And they're going to take you behind the scenes and teach you how to buy a diamond the way the experts do. If it's the summer that you're going to make the big decision, that you want to go and get that ring, there's one place to do it. Actually, two. It's Benari Jewelers. It's Exton. It's Newtown Square. And you can start to get a little bit acquainted with the experience by going to BenariJewelers.com. They are the best because if you want that incredible ring, I always tell you, if you're going to pop the question, Benari is the answer.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A powerful pitching performance. I'm Connor Thomas, and Zack Wheeler had that last night in Cincinnati for the Phillies as they took down the Reds 4-1. He went 7 innings, 1 earned, struck out 14, tying a career high for himself, and did not walk a single batter. It's the first time since 2016 that a Philly starter has gone 14 strikeouts, no walks. He talked about the performance after the game with the NBC Sports Philadelphia broadcast.
First few innings passed, yeah. I was kind of chasing those today, especially, I think once I had 11, I was like, man, I want to try to, get 15, get that personal record. I wasn't able to do it, but, we won the game.
I'd say 14 is just good enough, and 4-1, and we'll take that as well. The Phils do have a new All-Star, even though Zack Wheeler has not been selected. Jesus Luzardo was named as a replacement yesterday, his first selection of his career. Game 2 is at 7 p.m. tonight. The Phils have not named a starter yet. Chase Burns will start on the mound for the Reds. Yesterday, Shams Charania reporting that LeBron James is taking the Sixers offer seriously. Cleveland, Miami, Philly sound like the main 3 options. So we're still on LeBron watch, folks, and we're also on Leo Carlson watch. The Flyers have 2 more days till Anaheim's deadline on a decision to match the offer sheet that the Flyers offered him. Scott Lauber will join us coming up at 9:05 to talk some Phils. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the 2026 MLB All-Star Game in Philadelphia, 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
Kincade and Salciunas.
97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, you disappointed my man 215 Jay Philly not calling in. He heard the call. A lot of people on our YouTube chat said you got to call in. You've been called out. He's not called in. Anti-LeBron guy. I don't get it. Yesterday, Shams Charania on ESPN was talking about the teams that LeBron James has expressed interest in from what he has heard, and hear how much he glows up the Sixers after the trade of Jaylen Brown.
All 10 of those teams have a standing offer for LeBron James. Now, I think you have to whittle that down, though. And I do, when I talk to teams around the league, when I do my research, the teams that continue to come up are Cleveland, Miami, Philadelphia after they got the Jaylen Brown. Like, Philadelphia was not in the picture. And I think that's why this is somewhat a true free agency for LeBron James, because he didn't go into it with a calculation in mind, a plan in place, because, you know, you leave the Lakers, you don't necessarily know what your value is. There's not like a guaranteed max that he's walking into. So you have to be open-minded. So when the Sixers got Jaylen Brown, I did some research and I found out within 24 hours, like, he's taking their pitch really seriously. And so I look at it when I talk to teams now as kind of a hierarchy of Cleveland, Miami, Philadelphia, and then I think there's some teams on the periphery.
I love that he just rounded back to the Sixers and talked about how big the trade for Jaylen Brown was. And if you remember,
huge. I mean, it's a huge move.
Rich Paul straight up said it with the Max Kellerman podcast over the weekend, saying, hey, look, when they made the trade for Jaylen Brown, that's when they got our attention. LeBron James was not going to come here pre-Jaylen Brown trade. Like, there was a 0% chance.
There was none. Yeah, because they weren't a title contender.
Right. Absolutely. Now, how much has that trade impacted it? Here was Bob Myers. I thought it was a gangster way to go about it. He's on the podcast. It's the Game Over podcast with Max Kellerman and Rich Paul, the agent of LeBron James. And Bob Myers, it was diabolical. He did the you do you, man. But let me tell you why, if it's really about winning, it's Philadelphia.
If he was here, I'd say I honestly believe this is your best chance to win. You have to decide all the other things that are equally important, because it's his life, right? He has to play. He has to face the scrutiny of his decision. That'll half people will say you should have done this or should have done that, and they'll criticize him for whatever, which is his life. So he's been through all that. What I would just say is, if it's about winning, let's talk about this team, because you can win here in Philadelphia.
I love that. If it's really about winning, man.
I love it because he didn't say it condescendingly.
Right.
But he said it like, look, dude, like he put the thought in the head that's going to be, I guarantee you, that is going to keep haunting them in the process of going, okay, well, let's match everything up against Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Let's match everything against Philly. He's inserted himself now into where they just got to go, yeah, well, how do they match up against Philly?
Is it about playing with Steph? Is it about going back to Cleveland? Or is it about potentially, I think it is, the best chance of winning being in Philadelphia? So there was more. Great Sean Rodman doing great work in the back. It's an hour and a half long podcast, so Sean's sifting through a lot of it. They talked about the fit. It's one thing for Andrew Salciunas to just be so educated on the NBA to tell you how great of a fit is, and nobody's going to listen to me. But when Bob Myers says it, maybe that's better for you.
LeBron's basketball brain he knows the answer better. If I asked that, he would have an opinion that I would say, well, that makes sense, because he knows. So whatever place he chooses, I think all I could talk about would be winning and organizationally support. But if there's other reasons, it's completely fine.
It's like you're on a show like The Bachelor or something, and you're trying to get the girl.
So we'll get the other one in a little bit. Sean's working in the back there. But there's another clip about the basketball standpoint of why he fits with the Philadelphia 76ers. Here it is.
That starting five in Philly for LeBron, and usually it takes the second year. Like the first year, you got to add a few extra pieces in the offseason. The next year, they have to learn, and then they win the following year, right? That seems to be how it usually works. But LeBron, I do say, like, 25 is a nice round number. A 2-year runway with Maxey, Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, and Joel Embiid doesn't even sound realistic. That sounds sounds like a 2K lineup.
Yeah. By the way, where he fits in so well with that when you hear it and you put it on the whiteboard, it's like boom, right? It's right there. It just and the skill sets complement. It's very complementary because LeBron's been a high usage guy, but he doesn't have to be, right? He can be, but doesn't have to be.
Yeah, and at this point, you probably don't want to.
Yeah,
be.
Okay.
I love it. I love it.
So I'm looking here, looking at numbers because just to what you were saying earlier is that, and also about the fit and everything like that. So LeBron, do you know how many times he shot last year?
He had to shoot more because Luka had so much time out.
He didn't though.
No,
it's surprising. I thought the exact same thing.
he still averaged 8 assists a game.
But I was saying, how many? Connor, you have any idea how many times he shot the ball last year?
No.
15 times a game.
Okay. Yeah.
So because I sort of rolled my eyes going, LeBron's going to want to come here and LeBron's going to want to be LeBron.
No, he's facilitator of this.
LeBron, I don't want to, I mean, is he going to be like a later years Magic Johnson?
That's what I said the other day.
I mean, it's like because there was an example you gave,
yeah.
But like where he really is, he shot 15 times a game.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you're trying to make him that it's, you got Jaylen Brown, you have Tyrese Maxey, you have a VJ Edgecombe that you're bringing along. God, that shows me something about LeBron that I want LeBron to come here.
Right.
That I didn't give him enough credit for because even in my own mind, I'm going, LeBron doesn't want to be that much of a facilitator. That tells me right there, LeBron does.
Yeah, they're
does
talking straight up usage, man.
He's not only talking the talk, he's walking the walk. You shoot a great player like LeBron shoots 15 times. That tells me he's really willing to do whatever it takes.
8, 9, 10 assists a game.
He's willing to do whatever it takes to make everybody else great.
Yeah. All right.
That's a lot.
So why wouldn't you want him?
Why wouldn't you want him?
He did call in. I give him credit. Good. My man 215J Philly chimes in here from the YouTube chat on the Davis Honda call-in line. What's up, man? Brother?
Yeah, what up?
Why do you hate LeBron so much?
Because I think some of y'all view most of y'all fans or people that listen in that they never picked up a ball a day in their life. That's the funny thing. And
Here we go.
Most people that are LeBron fans, you can smell them in a room because they're usually beta males or they never played the game at all, and they're coming from a fanboy perspective.
Well, now,
they don't know what they're watching.
Can I ask what age you are?
Knowing that this is a product of a weak NBA for the last 20 years. It's been soft.
Wait.
And that's why nobody else has been able to carry the league like this.
Wait.
He jumps around from team to team. He loses more than he has won. When do we celebrate losing more than winning?
Wait. What can I ask what age you are? Are you closer to my age? How old are you?
I'm 47 years old.
Okay, so you can speak on watching Jordan. You see, like when I hear 30-year-olds lecture me on Jordan, I'm like, you didn't watch.
He's not Magic. He's not Bird. He's not Dr. J. He's not Barkley. He's not even Sean Kemp.
Okay, now you're losing me. Now you're losing me.
My goats never took steroids.
He's better than Barkley.
My goats never took steroids.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Hey, he's going to tell you.
That is a fact.
Charles Barkley would tell you.
Sonnen, did he get sued? Yes or no?
Come on, he's going to tell you. Charles is going to tell you that LeBron was better. Charles wouldn't claim to be better than LeBron. Come on.
Charles is not going to sit because he knows his generation is soft and his Twitter figures.
Well, wait a minute.
Charles Barkley isn't on Twitter. He doesn't know anything about Twitter.
I don't care what Charles say. If you look at the game.
Oh, it is a softer game. It's a much softer game. It's a much softer.
You can't even call him LeBron. You're calling him LeBron.
LeBron got that dog in him. If he wanted to come to Philly, he would have signed in New York a long time ago. But he's not cut like that. He's soft.
Now look, it is. I got to tell you,
he went to 8 straight NBA championships, and you said he's lost more than he's won. He went to 8 straight titles, bro.
How many championships has he won, Tunis?
He won 4, but he went to 8 straight titles, and he took Mo Williams to one of them.
How many times have you been to the championship?
How many times have you been total? What, 10? I forget.
Okay, so if 4 out of 10 is an F.
No, it's not.
Anywhere you go, life in life. That's
no.
Let me ask you something. You're a Sixers fan. I know that you are. Wouldn't you take at least one appearance over the last 20-some years?
How about getting the conference finals?
I'll cut from a cloth. I'd rather beat him. I don't want to join nothing about him.
Wow. Okay, I get you. No, I love the passion.
Yeah, I love the passion. I appreciate your service as always,
Thank you, buddy.
brother. We appreciate it. Thanks for calling in.
I got to tell you,
he's a fiery man.
I love the fiery man, but Charles Barkley would tell you he's not better than LeBron James.
It's Taco Tuesday!
Look, I appreciate the text line. I appreciate the comment line. That's why I still appreciate callers, because I don't hear tones in texts.
Well, there's
I
a
don't
lot of
hear
tone there.
Tones in comments. I like being able to have a back and forth with somebody that can't even say the man's name correctly. He calls him LeBum.
Yeah, but here's the one thing he's absolutely 100% correct about, is that Michael Jordan did not play in today's NBA.
No, I got you.
Today's NBA is so soft compared to the NBA that Jordan played in. The way the game is played, guys drive the lane today that would be picking up their teeth off the floor.
I got you.
That played in the 80s and 90s. It's a different game.
But you're not going to deny his excellence in the same breath.
LeBron.
Whereas our man,
No, because you know why? Because LeBron would have been great in that era.
Yes, he would.
LeBron would have been great in that era. Jordan would have been, but Jordan would have been better.
I got
in
you.
today's era.
He's gone to 10 NBA championships,
Right.
and we're saying, oh well, he's only won 4 of them.
But also, too, jumping around picking your spots helps you go to those championships too. It helps you do that.
Yeah, and having two Hall of Fame teammates for all years.
But also,
helps
too,
with that.
but also he didn't get suspended. Retire.
Yeah,
that has to come into it too.
The ignorance of LeBron's greatness is unbelievable.
LeBron
to me.
is freaking awesome.
It's something that needs to be studied. I love it. All right, coming up next, we have trivia.
What?
Connor versus Kincade. You guys don't even know about it.
Oh, man.
MLB All-Star Game Edition, Phillies related. You guys don't even know the topic. You'll find out next, and you guys will go head-to-head here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Let's talk about that FanDuel Sportsbook app, shall we? Biggest stage of the world, FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge, is changing the game because sometimes your players get subbed off, and if your bet goes off with them, well, then it's over. But not with the FanDuel Super Sub. No, they're here for you to win money. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That doesn't mean you turn off the TV. It doesn't mean that you close your FanDuel app. No, if one guy goes off the pitch that you have money on and the player that goes in for him, your bet is still alive. So you're in it until the final whistle. And for some of us who aren't the biggest soccer fans or are looking for reasons why to watch, that's one good reason to keep on watching. Just check out FanDuel.com/local to get started now. That's FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. You got to be 21 plus and present in Pennsylvania. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
97.5, The Fanatic.
All right, 8:49 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. Great time today. Bob Myers.
Oh, yes.
Making me happy.
All right, now look, we're bonding on that. You were pissed at me about the Phillies, my Phillies take today, but we're bonding on the excitement over Bob Myers.
Yes.
How about this? Are we unanimous right now that other than Dave Dombrowski, we love the front offices right now? We're loving the way the front offices are attacking and being. I mean, Howie's already been like a sneak.
Howie set the stage.
Howie has sort of just, and it's almost as if the winner teams now have to try to keep up with them. Have to say Howie has set a standard, and now you try to keep up with Howie's standard, and say, can you do what Howie's done?
Dude, when he said years ago, Philadelphia is not a city you can rebuild in. Like, I love that he said that. Now, maybe he meant more so just the Eagles, because literally the Sixers did a rebuild and a lot of people were for it. The Flyers did a rebuild and a lot of people were for it. Phillies did it out of necessity.
Right.
But maybe that was the standard. We talk about Jalen Hurts setting the standard. The standard is the standard. Keep the main thing the main thing. I think Howie's doing that for the executives and GMs.
I think it's great because I think that it's wonderful to say. I know for a fact, because having conversations with Dan Hilferty, that they're motivated by what they've seen the Eagles do. They're motivated. They feel that competition.
Yeah.
So it's great.
I love
to
it.
see that competition.
That's why news breaks whenever one team's being talked about too much. You just wait. There's going to be an Eagles trade soon. Watch, they're going to get Max Crosby just because they want to be back in the forefront of everyone's mind. All right. Do you can you play some game show music or something?
Boom,
yeah.
Other
than that one.
Okay.
That one's retired. Now that you finally had your episode, that one's retired. All right. I
got my cash, so I can't take it back.
I have a list of 9 players that played in the most All-Star games as a member of the Phillies. Now, the reason why I have 9 is because there were like 100 players that played in at least 3.
9 players that played in the most All-Star games.
Yes, in Phillies franchise history for the Phillies, and they appeared in the game because there have been times in Major League Baseball history where a player makes the All-Star team but then never actually makes it into the game. So I have 9 players that have played in the All-Star games anywhere from 4 to 12 times.
Okay. So I think I can do great on this.
So what we're going to do is we will go one at a time, boom, boom, and I will tell you if they're on the list, how many times they made it, and if they're not on the list, you just get an X. And it's not 3 strikes, you're out. It's just whoever has the most at the end of it wins, okay?
Connor.
So, Connor, do you want to go first?
Michael Jack Schmidt.
You got the easy one. He played in 12 All-Stars as a member of the Phillies, so good job, Connor. You have 1.
That's a pretty easy one. Steve Carlton.
He played in 7, second most, tied with one other person, but you are now tied 1-1.
How about the man, Chase Utley?
Chase Utley played in 6 All-Star games as a member of the Phillies. So good job, Connor. You're up 2-1 in the early goings.
Larry Boa.
Larry Boa played in 5 All-Stars as a member of the Phillies. So you guys are split 2-2.
And it has to be member of the Phillies. We got to get this right?
Yes,
correct.
because it's not
good.
like,
So
like Roy
no
Halladay pitched in,
right,
2
exactly.
for the Phillies, but what was in multiple with
10 and 11.
Exactly.
Give me the guy on the broadcast. Let's go with John Kruk.
John Kruk.
No.
Incorrect. He was one of the many that played in 3. Dutch, Boone, Cash, Allen, Dykstra, Harper, Howard, Kruk. Numerous.
Okay.
But no. So you got the first.
So you got the first.
You have a chance to take the. You have a chance to take the lead.
Okay, it's hard. Wow. I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to think more of the history of things.
I will tell you there are 4 players that played in 4, and there's 1 guy with 7 that you guys have not mentioned yet.
Wow, one guy with 7
that you have not mentioned yet.
Okay, well then that's got to be somebody that was I should know because of the difference in the age group. I'm gonna say. Wow, that's really hard. I'm gonna go. Man, I'm trying to think of the numbers that is killing me on
You
this
could do
one.
a pass if you want.
No, I'm not doing a pass.
I heard pass.
No, I'm not. Bob Boone.
Bob Boone was one of the many with 3.
3. I was thinking of
Connor?
who's been involved.
Give me Richie Ashburn.
Richie Ashburn was one of the 4s. So
Very
you
good.
retake the lead. You guys both got your third guesses wrong.
Now I got 5 minutes to think while John guesses.
God, it's hard. I'm sorry about that. It was just that's a brutal one. Wow. Kurt Schilling?
No, only 3. There was a ton with 3. That's why I didn't do a 10th.
Can I get a little Chuck Klein?
No, Klein was not on there. But you are there's a couple guys in the way back.
In the way
missing.
back machine?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's where I got to think of that way back machine. Robin Roberts.
That is the 7.
Well,
yes.
then that's sort of cheating on my part because when he said way back, then I just go, okay, great.
So it's tied 3-3
Okay.
right now.
When
Robin
did the All-Star game start?
Well, no,
20s?
there. No, we're
Man,
not
that's
going
hard.
far.
That's hard.
Grover Cleveland Alexander.
No. There are 3 left.
And you're telling me how many are old?
1.
1.
And 2 of them are like more modern players.
Oh, wait a minute.
Modern-ish.
Okay.
Okay.
I know one.
Go
then.
ahead.
Whoa. It's not
it's his turn.
It's not his turn.
His turn.
Was Pete Rose here long enough?
Yes, he was. You said Pete Rose wouldn't be on it. Pete Rose made 4 All-Stars as a member of the Phillies, so good job, Connor.
Richie Allen?
No.
No. Dick Allen made it in how many? Dick Allen had
Made
to
it in
make
3.
Wow.
All right.
I'm out of names.
Connor's up 4-3. John, can you at least
so anything
tie it?
you can get to tie it, I'm out.
Anything I can do to tie it. Let me think.
You have till July 31st.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just it's Oh, you said one of the old guys is left?
One is old, yeah.
Kurt Simmons?
No.
Kurt Simmons didn't make All-Star games as a Philly?
He made All-Star games, but he didn't play in as much as one Johnny Callison.
Oh, Johnny Callison. My mom's favorite player.
And how about you could get some of his barbecue in the outfield?
The Bull.
The Bull played in 4 All-Star
That's
games as a
terrible.
member of the Phillies.
Greg, I am sorry.
Wow.
Bull, I am sorry. I apologize.
You win, Connor, 4-3.
I
Johnny
apologize.
Callison and Greg the Bull Lazinski, the 2 you guys missed in
I
the top
apologize.
9.
My mom's favorite player, Johnny Callison.
Wow.
Where's my new car?
You don't get I got a red. No, I don't. Civ Cash. Wow. That's a good game, though. That's a good game.
Your license probably still says Jersey, doesn't it?
Yeah, let's not talk about that. The IRS might have some ears.
All right, coming up next, we'll reset today's topics. Also, I can't wait to get into this conversation. I saw a billboard yesterday, and I wanted to confirm it when I drove by it this morning, and I did. And I know that I feel like I know John's answer, and I know Connor's answer, so I can't wait to have this conversation. It's about Bryce Harper and All-Star games here on The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A great start in Cincy. I'm Connor Thomas. The Zack Wheeler had a monster start for the Phils last night in Cincinnati. They took down the Reds 4-1, and it was large thanks to Wheeler's 7 innings of work, only allowing 1 earned run, striking out 14, didn't walk a single guy. He was pretty darn dominant, but apparently not All-Star game level dominant, as he has not been selected to the National League All-Star team. So he was asked about how much that bothers him with the NBC Sports Philadelphia broadcast after the game.
Of course it did. It's a shame that, the rules are what they are. Just because I pitch on a certain day, can't pitch an All-Star game or even be there. So, it's something that I probably need to look into.
The Phils do have a new All-Star, though. Jesus Luzardo was named as a replacement yesterday, his first selection of his career. Game 2 is at 7 p.m. tonight. Phil starters on the side. Chase Burns goes for the Reds. Yesterday, Shams Charania reporting LeBron James is taking the Sixers offer seriously. Sounds like the main 3 options, according to recent reports, are Cleveland, Miami, and us here in Philadelphia. So you better believe we'll be watching that closely. Flyers have 2 more days till Anaheim's deadline, a decision on the Leo Carlson offer sheet. Coming up next, Scott Lauber of The Inquirer will join us to talk some Phillies. This update is brought to you by our friends over over at Corona. Your shot at Home Run Derby and MLB All-Star Game tickets start with Corona and 97.5 The Fanatic. Join us All-Star Weekend at City Tap House, Morgan Spear, and Tailgate Sports Bar. Learn more at 975thefanatic.com. Must be 21 plus, presented by Corona. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the MLB All-Star Game in Philadelphia, 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
Now back to Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, we have Scott Lauber of The Inquirer joining us this segment to talk about the state of the Philadelphia Phillies. Show started off this morning. I was taken aback by John Kincaid's tone and attitude toward the Phillies.
I get in trouble for tone all the time, so
we start the show. I was like, oh, my God, Phillies are 2 games back of Atlanta. Nice win yesterday over the Reds, 4-1. Zach Wheeler down. And you're like, yeah, but, the Braves are struggling. And, the Phillies, I'm worried about their bullpen. And you're right.
Yeah, you're playing 500 ball over your last 10.
Okay.
The Braves go 7-17. It's like, yay.
They're not going to go
well.
8-2 every 10-game stretch.
You're playing crappy teams. We were expecting this is when you would start to play really good ball. You're not playing good ball.
They were 9-19 at one point this season.
They were.
11.5 games back. I'm celebrating the fact that they're 2 back and 10 games over 500 right
They
now.
were. This is good. And this is the same guy who wouldn't celebrate an Eagles team who was a really good team playing good. So I can't get lectures from you on this. This is a Phillies team that's not a really good team.
I wasn't celebrating because their offense didn't.
You were like, no, they're dead.
Their offense didn't exist.
This is and that Eagles team was exponentially better than this Phillies team. So I can't take a lecture from you on me not being excited about a slightly better than average Phillies
maybe
team.
you're seeing the future like I saw the future of the Eagles. I told you they were dead in November, and they lost in the first round of the playoffs.
No, I don't
because they were dead.
I am open to the idea that this Phillies team can still play their better ball in the second half.
Hell yeah, man.
Brad Keller's going to be better. I think maybe they can find some pitching. Maybe. I don't know.
We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, Scooble.
Yeah.
Yes, Scooble. Yeah, with the 29th best farm system.
Yeah, that's
maybe we could. Maybe I bet you Scott Lauber thrown into a deal. There'd be some markets that would be in.
We're not trading him.
No, but there'd be some markets that would be in.
So we'll talk to Scott in a few minutes.
Guarantee it.
We should probably push him 40 minutes because I know this is how long this debate could potentially go. I saw something yesterday driving into work, and I was like, all right, let me save this because I want to clarify it because I'm not stopping on the Ben Franklin Bridge to look at a billboard.
Coward.
All right. I'm not slamming
tell
on the
me,
brakes
tell
at 4
me.
o'clock in the morning.
Tell me.
So there's a billboard as you're crossing into PA from the great state of New Jersey of the upcoming MLB All-Star Game. And it is a billboard. This is why I wanted, confirmation and a closer look. It is a billboard that's not the Phillies presenting this billboard. Because there's a lot of the billboards, our All-Stars, and, buy your season tickets and all that stuff. This was a Major League Baseball billboard for the upcoming All-Star Game that's in Philadelphia. It had Shohei Ohtani on it. It had Yordan Alvarez on it, who's having a ridiculous season for the Astros in the American League. It had Bobby Witt Jr. on it. And it had Bryce. And
Bryce?
So, again,
Why is Bryce on it? Why is he on it?
I already knew. It tells you that Bryce Harper, from the eyes of Major League Baseball, is still a face of baseball.
No, that was put on there for a Philly thing.
No, it was not, because you could have done that with Schwarber. You could have done that with the potential starter in Christopher Sanchez, now that we know that Mizorowski's not playing. Bryce Harper's not even a starter.
No, he was appointed to the game. He was given a charity appointment.
So they still view him as a face of baseball. Major League Baseball does. That was not a Philadelphia Phillies billboard.
If that billboard was put up in other cities, I'll agree with you. The billboard was put up here.
Well, maybe it is in other cities.
I don't believe
the All-Star Game's here, so that's probably why the billboard.
If it was a billboard for the TV broadcast of the game, I have to see. Do me a favor.
I'll stop
what is
tomorrow.
it? What is it for? No, just look. No, just look at what the broadcast. If it's for the TV broadcast, then I would agree with you. If it's just for the All-Star Game being here in Philly, they're going to take the guy who is supposed to be the face of the franchise. It's supposed to be.
Yeah, but
Bryce
if it's this area, we know who Christopher Sanchez is. We know who Kyle Schwarber is. We know who Johan Duran is. And those guys were elected normally. Those guys
they're the real All-Stars because they didn't get a charity.
No, hang on. Bryce was deserving based on numbers. He just got that vote.
He was the third most deserving at his position in his league.
And more deserving than a lot of other players that are at other positions.
Right, but he was the third most deserving at his position in his league.
Yeah, you could be the third best first baseman and be the fifth best All-Star.
We said it was a great position.
Yeah, right.
We said the position battle yesterday was awesome.
It was the only one.
It's a great position.
It was the only position other than outfield because there's so many that had three players with over 1 million votes.
It's one of those things like in the NBA where I go, if you took the NBA All-Star team, first team All-Star, it's a shame you couldn't have like 4 guards or whatever. Or it's sometimes the 5 best players is not saying that you don't have to have a center in today's NBA, as one of those players. So I get you. That's what I would just say.
So I don't know. I still view him as a face of baseball.
He always has been. He still is.
Like the way national people talk about him, the show, like they say the showman, not just Tom McCarthy and John Kruk. That's one of our
That's our
listeners.
voice, yes.
John Kruk. Like Jeff Passan still talks about Bryce Harper in a way that, people of yesteryear talk about Willie Mays. Like the way they talk about Bryce Harper. So when I see this billboard, I go, is Bryce Harper still considered a face of Major League Baseball?
If that's a national ad, yeah, then that would say, hey, they did research on that, they decided. If it's a local ad, no, because that would be the guy you'd pick for Philadelphia.
All right,
pick Bryce
I'll
Harper.
try. I think
See
it's
what
a
the
national
ad's for.
ad. That's
See what
why
it's
I
for.
didn't bring this up yesterday.
Like if that billboard's in L.A., Chicago, New York, Atlanta, whatever, then I'd agree with you.
All right.
But if it's not.
Well, I'm curious. We're about to have Scott Lauber on, and Scott Lauber covers the Phillies, but as we know, he's dipped his toes in other waters, and he still has an ear to the rest of the market. So I wonder what Scott Lauber thinks about this. He joins us now here on Kincade and Salciunas. Scott, good morning, man. How are you? Hello, Scott. We got some phone issues again there.
Well,
Connor.
that's shocking.
Yeah,
I mean it is shocking.
Yeah. All right. Let's try this again.
We'll try it again.
Scott, can you hear me now? All right, we'll try to figure
We'll try to figure
Scott out. Every single day there's something freaking new with this damn place. Like honestly, something's broken. Wow. All right. Hello.
It's okay.
Call Rodney up on my cell phone.
It's okay.
Phones
sometimes are a little tricky.
Or are they always tricky?
No, they are. Phone technology can be tricky. It really can.
It's seemingly always tricky.
It can be.
And
It can very well be tricky.
Frustrating.
It can very well. I know it is.
Like, I would like to just think about what Bob Myers is trying to do landing LeBron James right now, but now I got the phone issues on my mind.
That's the way it works.
But yeah, so Bryce Harper, one of the faces. I'll try to get even more confirmation for you tomorrow. I'll make a pit stop.
Yeah, just see what it is. And just see. No, I'd be anxious to see what the ad is for.
I have a flare in my trunk. I'll put a flare down and I'll pull my car over and make sure that nobody runs into the back of my car.
Everybody should have a flare in their trunk. That's very good.
I bet you not everybody has a flare in their car.
My Toyota comes with a kit.
0% chance Connor Thomas has a flare in the back of his car.
Brother, I barely have AC in my car.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think the majority of people have a flare in their car.
Yeah, I mean, you should have you really should have a kit. You can just get the kit for your car. You can buy one at like a Pep Boys.
Yeah, no.
That just carries all the basic stuff with it. And a flare, you get in the basic kits, you can get a flare.
And I'll be honest, my flare that's in the back of my car, I found in the garage when I moved into the house. All right, let's go to our man, Scott Lauber. Here we go. We got it figured out. What's up, Scott?
He's got a flare for the writing.
Good morning, Scott. How are you?
Hi, Scott.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good, buddy.
So, Scott, I was driving in yesterday, and then I needed to drive slower this morning because I can't just come to a complete stop on the Ben Franklin Bridge. If I did do that, people would probably be concerned. There's a billboard up as you drive into Pennsylvania from New Jersey that includes Yordan Alvarez, Bobby Witt Jr., Shohei Ohtani, and Bryce Harper. And the reason why I wanted to wait till today to bring this up was because I wanted to make sure, was this a Phillies billboard or was this a baseball billboard? And by the looks of it, again, I'm still driving slow on the bridge, it was a billboard by Major League Baseball. And it made me say, I guess Bryce Harper is still considered a face of Major League Baseball. You cover the Phillies, but you still have ties all over the place from your different stops along the way. Do you believe that Bryce Harper is still considered a face of baseball, even though he was not voted in to be an all-star, but he was the Legends selection of Rob Manfred?
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that he's still a face of baseball, and I think that the fact that the commissioner did what he did, I think was essentially a tacit admission, right, that you can't have an all-star game, especially one in Philadelphia, without Bryce Harper being in it. And by the way, he has the numbers to back it up this year. I think, I know he didn't have a hit last night, so I haven't looked this up, but I know going, through the weekend, he was like 10th or 11th in the majors in OPS. He's got 20 home runs. So it wasn't like a charity pick, but I do think it was an admission that, hey, this guy is a face of the sport, and we need to have him highlighted in our All-Star game in Philadelphia especially. So, yeah, I don't think there's any question that he is still a face of the sport.
Scott, when you look at how it came out, I was fascinated by the player vote. It's clear, though, that in the player vote, the players clearly felt that it was Olsen, then Freddie Freeman, and then really sort of a distant third, Bryce Harper. Do we look at Bryce Harper differently here, sort of with stars in our eyes, than maybe his peers do?
Yeah, maybe, and I don't know. I'll take you back. I think this was before he even signed with the Phillies. I think he was still with the Nationals. So we're talking probably like 2017, 2018 period here. But you remember, I think ESPN, the magazine, I think, or something like that, did a player poll, and Harper was voted most overrated. It was one of those kind of deals. So this is going back a while, and I don't know if that's still I don't know that that's still a perception of him around the sport.
Not the most popular guy.
Well, I think early in his career, I'll put it this way. I know early in his career there was maybe even some jealousy. I think there were veteran players who said, well, what has this guy ever done to deserve the attention he's gotten at such a young age? You remember Cole Hamels hitting him.
Yep.
I mean, we all remember that when he was a rookie, and it was Cole essentially came out and said, yeah, I just did it to prove a point, to make a point. And I think there were a lot of players at that time who were like, who's this guy, and what's he ever done to warrant the attention, to warrant Sports Illustrated and all of that. I don't know that still necessarily goes on because he has – I was talking to someone the other day, and they said, the incredible thing about Bryce Harper is everybody knew his name when he was a teenager, and all these years later, he's kind of backed it up, right? Like he's on the doorstep of 400 home runs. He's got 5 years left here in Philly, and he wants to play beyond that. So he's going to hit 500. He might even hit, close to 600. Like, he's going to have Hall of Fame numbers when all is said and done. And so I do think that there is a faction within the sport that says, you know what, like, we anointed this kid as sort of the next great player before he did a thing in the big leagues, and he's kind of backed it up with a Hall of Fame caliber career. But I'm sure that there is some of that old feeling of, that still exists around the sport. Now, look, Olsen and Freeman are having great years. First base is kind of a loaded position in the National League. The Phillies have, Schwarber and Sanchez, who got a lot of support on the player ballot. So there might have been players who said, hey, let's throw some love at some guys from teams that aren't as star-studded. So I don't know what all the factors were that went into it, but you're right. He did finish third in the player balloting, and I don't know what that means other than that, players felt like Olsen and Freeman were more deserving.
Scott, I'm interested to hear your opinion on this. And honestly, I haven't gotten John's opinion on this because John was on vacation when I brought this up. So, John, you're going to be hearing this for the first time. And today's the perfect day to bring it up because he once again went out there and struck out all three batters. Well, he faced four batters last night, Duran. How dare he give up a hit? He struck out three.
That bum.
Duran, this season that he's having, could you make the case that his dominance was more dominant than what Brad Lidge did in his perfect season? Now, I get it. Brad Lidge was perfect, but there were games where Brad Lidge would give up a run or two. You get three runs. You could give up two, and you still get the save. Whereas Duran is basically facing the minimum, it seems like, night in, night out, and striking out almost all of them every time.
Yeah. It's funny because for those of us who, lived through that year, and we're talking about a long time ago now, 16 years ago, I can't believe it. But I mean, I covered that team and covered that season, and it's always been hard for me to imagine a better year by a closer than what Brad Lidge did. But you're right. There were a lot of hairy saves that year. I remember there was one, I wish I remembered where it was. It was on the road somewhere where they threw a runner out at the plate to end a game, and that was how he closed it out. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like 1, 2, 3 lights out dominant every single time. And it feels like more often than not, that's what we do get from Duran. So I've kind of thought about this in those terms of like, is this the most dominant season we've seen from a Phillies closer? And, they did have a closer win the Cy Young one year with Steve Bedrosian. They did have a closer who won the MVP one year, going all the way back to 1950 with Jim Constanti. And then, of course, those of us who were around for the Lidge year. So, there's some competition here, but you're right. I mean, I think Lidge would say this himself. In fact, I know he would because I've talked to him about it. I mean, Duran's kind of a different animal, right? Like, Lidge threw that great slider, and he had the fastball, but he was sort of a two-pitch guy. And, if you guessed right, you had a chance against him. Duran's a closer who throws like 5 pitches, right? I mean, he's got triple-digit fastball. He's got that crazy splinter, but then he's got 3 off-speed pitches that he can get you out on as well. And I just don't know that we've seen that. So, yeah, I mean, when all is said and done, you might look back at it and say it was the most dominant year by a Phillies closer. But it's hard to, look, it's bottom line business, right? And Lidge not only went 41 for 41 in the regular season, but he went, 7 for 7 in the postseason and closed out the World Series. So, I think that's certainly, that's tough to beat.
July 8th, if I took you back to 2024 and 2025, even 2023, the last 3 years leading up to this one, after they had went to the World Series in 22, do you feel any better about the Phillies or any worse about the Phillies' chances to be able to do something special in the playoffs and at the end of the year than you did in those previous years?
So it's a little crazy to say because of how they started. And, I think 9-19 is always going to kind of be in the back of your mind. I feel about as good. I feel like they are firmly in the top 4 teams in the National League, right? There's the Braves, the Brewers, the Dodgers, and the Phillies. And I think the Phillies, The Phillies still have to go out and prove that they can beat those other three teams. They have not played well against those three teams this year. The Braves essentially got Rob Thompson fired, right, given what they did to them in back-to-back weekends back in April. The Phillies lost the series in Milwaukee. They lost the series in L.A. They're going to have the Dodgers right after the All-Star break. They're going to have the Brewers toward the end of the season at home. So, and they'll have the Braves again, of course, a couple of times. So, I think that they're going to have an opportunity to prove that they belong in that group. But I feel like they are, if they are not part of that top tier, they are a notch below and probably in a class by themselves, because I'm not sure that there's another team in wild card position that's as good as them. So in that sense, I feel about as good as I did in those other years. But also, look, right after the All-Star break, we get the trade deadline, and we're going to start to focus on the holes in the roster. And we could have the argument right now, like, if I said to you, you can only get one thing, what would you get? Would you get a right-handed hitter? Would you get another starting pitcher? Or would you get a bullpen piece? And the three of us might have three different answers. Yeah. And that tells you that there are some holes in the roster that need to be filled in order for you to feel really good about things. But, players have said to me, look, just get in. Because if you get in, anything can happen, especially when you have Sanchez and Wheeler pitching games 1 and 2, and you have Harper and Schwarber who can turn a game with one swing of the bat. So teams that are built like the Phillies, I feel like, are teams that are threats in October, believe it or not. And maybe, the regular season is more of a challenge for them at times because they're depth challenged and whatnot. I don't even know if they have the assets in their farm system to go get the things they need. I don't think they do. So, it's going to be difficult for them to really, in a meaningful way, improve upon what they have on their roster. But if they can get in, I do think that they're a team that can be dangerous.
All right, well, last thing, you bring up the trade deadline. It would be wrong of us to not even ask it. What's your latest read on what they may do? It's one thing for what I think they should do, what John thinks they should do. Like you said, we might have three different answers. Your latest read on what the Phillies might be aggressive with come trade deadline time.
I don't know, because I don't think that they've decided internally what their priority list is. And if they have, I think, just the same as the three of us, I think if you put, all of their top front office people in a room, some of them might have different answers. I think it's a good debate to have. But I kind of think, there's still a right-handed bat, and some people say two right-handed bats short of a really dangerous lineup. So I think that that's probably still the priority, and it could change in the next 3 weeks. But I do think that's still the area. One thing that I do keep coming back to, I remember in 2024, the year they lost to the Mets in the division series, after that season, Dave Dombrowski talking about how he regretted not being more aggressive about getting a back-end starting pitcher at the deadline that year. They thought between Tyler Phillips and Taijuan Walker and some other people who were in that mix, that they thought they had some depth. They thought they could figure it out. They ended up not having a fifth starter much at all. And because of that, we're unable to kind of get on any sort of a roll late in the season, kind of limped toward the playoffs, and ended up getting knocked out early. And now they not only have a fifth starter problem, they kind of have a fourth starter problem. Because I know Aaron Nola pitched great in Kansas City, but you got to see it now over the next, 3 or 4 starts for you to say, okay, we can trust him again. And the Royals, I know what they did on Monday. They're not a good offense, and they're not a good team. So, I only put so much into what Nola did on Sunday and all of that. So I need to see him do it over the weekend in Detroit. I need to see him do it more before the break, before the deadline. So, you could certainly say, well, they could go out and get another starting pitcher, and that would really help them. But I come back to, what do they have to give up? And you got to be realistic. You got to give to get. And, Gage Wood is probably their top piece in the farm system. He's not probably. He's definitely their top piece in the farm system who's healthy, and there's just not much beyond that. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be able to do all the things they want to do, and I don't know that they're going to be able to shop in kind of like a higher end aisle either at the deadline. So it might have to be some complimentary pieces here and there.
Yeah, they're going to be about. They'll be shopping at big lots.
Pieces. We love those. Thanks for the time, Scott. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Appreciate it.
Sure thing, guys. Thanks.
Scott Lauber.
He's
of
got
the
great stuff.
Inquirer. He's great. He's fantastic. Big lots, man.
He agrees. But you hear what he said, though? You keep saying, well, they got 3 starters. That's all they need in the postseason. There's a lot of season to go. They need starting. You can't get by with 3
But he
starters the
also
rest
said
of the
come
way.
playoff time.
No, but you got to get. But they got to worry
Dangerous.
about it now. You need another starter.
It's July. We don't have to worry about anything.
Throw Connor out there.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Oh, that's it. Well, Connor
gotta
Thomas
pitch for
made the
Atlanta.
major leagues.
That's right.
Yes,
Connor
Sydney.
Thomas made the major leagues last night.
All right, coming up next, Phillies talk
Your
continues.
dream was realized.
Mid-season grades for every team in Major League Baseball. It's something that ESPN did, but the write-up is what I really want to read to you because it's accurate. The question is, does that make you confident or concerned? Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, the Fanatic.
I'm thinking of you've been in business for 40 years. How do you do that? Dan White and Associates, they do it by building trust with clients, building trust with generational clients, where fathers and sons do business with the same company. Because Dan White and Associates specializes in retirement and financial planning. What they do is they help people understand issues with their money, issues with retirement planning. Because questions about money, questions about finances and retirement, for some people, it's very overwhelming. The experts at Dan White and Associates are going to help you make sense of it all. They're going to help you feel confident with the discussion so you're not going to feel uncertain about what your financial future looks like. They host educational seminars throughout Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland. They've got offices in Pennsylvania and Delaware where you can get a complimentary, no-risk consultation, meaning you have a conversation alone, one-on-one with their team, and you can discuss what's important to you, what you want your future to look like, what you need some assistance with. Dan White & Associates treats every client differently, and they address all their needs specifically. And you are going to feel more confident about your money moving forward. Let Dan White & Associates help you. Go to danwhiteandassociates.com on the web and tell them John Kincade sent you.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Wheels, deals, and Cincy. I'm Connor Thomas. This update is brought to you by the Makem Group. Visit MakemGroup.com. The Makem Group supports contractors with one of the largest PVF inventories from pipe, valve, and fittings to trusted brands. Count on the Makem Group to help you stay on schedule. Visit MakemGroup.com today. Zach Wheeler had an incredible night on the mound in Cincinnati, striking out 14 over 7 innings worth of work. Only walked nobody. That's right. Still not an all-star somehow. The Phils won that game 4-1, and Zach Wheeler got a chance to talk about chasing the strikeout in a post-game interview with NBC Sports Philadelphia.
First few innings passed, I was kind of chasing those today, especially, I think once I had 11, I was like, man, I want to try to, get 15, get that personal record. I wasn't able to do it, but, we won the game.
They did win the game while Wheeler is not an all-star. The Phils do have a new one. Jesus Luzardo was named as a replacement yesterday. It's his first nod of his career. Game 2 is at 7 p.m. tonight. Phil starters undecided. Chase Burns goes for the Reds. Yesterday, Shams Charania reporting LeBron James is taking the Sixers offer seriously. Cleveland, Miami, and Philly sound like the main 3 options from recent reports. Flyers have 2 more days till Anaheim's deadline on a decision on the Leo Carlson offer sheet. This update is also brought to you by Wawa. Hoagie Fest is back. Get a shorty hoagie, chips, and a drink for $6. Make it a classic for $8. Gotta have a Wawa. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the 2026 MLB All-Star Game in Philadelphia, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
If you want to see their wonderful faces, check out youtube.com/975 The Fanatic Philadelphia. More of Kincade and Salciunas coming your way.
Final hour of Kincade and Salciunas is presented to you by The Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. You can get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. You need details? Go to bagster.com.
All right, coming up in a little bit, we have another messy bandit here at 97.5 The Fanatic that we need to try to figure out. I've already been given a name, but I never know whether or not I should believe Dylan McKinnon.
A lot of whispers around here.
Yeah.
Not. This isn't a soccer story.
No. There's something. There was a mess made once again here at 97.5 The Fanatic. But before we do that, ESPN did a midseason grade for every team. Phillies got a B-. Do we disagree with that? Like, I think it's
B- is a good grade for the
fair.
Yeah, yeah, it's fair.
The write-up is actually really good. And I'll ask you after I read it to you, does it make you confident or concerned when I read it to you? The Phillies dug themselves out from a bad start that resulted in Rob Thompson getting fired, going 41-21 since Don Mattingly became manager. I believe this was written yesterday, so 42-21. It probably has little to do with the managerial change and everything to do with, 1, playing a softer part of the schedule immediately after Mattingly took over. 2, Zack Wheeler returning to the rotation. 3, Bryce Harper getting hot, batted .305, .405 on base, .589 slugging in the month of June, all-star. 4, Christopher Sanchez reeling off 5 straight scoreless starts. This is a team with 5 all-stars: Sanchez, Harper, Schwarber, Marsh, Duran. Throw in Wheeler and Luzardo, and that's a fantastic top 7. The rest of the team isn't really that good, and the Phillies have relied on an 18-6 record in one-run games. And, of course, that's thanks to Duran being the closer of the team, and he's an all-star.
Okay.
Does that make you feel better or worse, or just more the same?
Sounds like I could have written it.
Top-heavy and then really bad afterward.
Sounds like I could have written that. Yeah, I think that's about what I think.
You wouldn't have put the Harper part in there, though.
No, because Harper is appointed to the game. He was the charity pick.
Yeah, he totally doesn't deserve it by all the great numbers that he has this year that are verifiable.
He got the charity pick.
But all right.
It's all right.
Yeah, we'll dismiss his month of June that he had.
No, it's good. It's good. He's the third best, and he got the charity pick, but it's good.
It's okay.
I think Wheeler should have been the should have been the guy.
He gets to go back to Matty Olson. That's what it is.
No, Wheeler should have been it. No, Matty Olson wasn't there when I was there.
Oh, that's right. That was Freddie was there.
Freddie was
the other guy that got.
But Freddie got the fan vote, the player vote. But the players told you what they think. The players told you clearly. It's those two, and then a distant third is Harper.
Yeah, terribly distant. He probably shouldn't be there. Yeah, get him off the billboard.
It's the best. It's the best position in baseball. But there you go.
But it's very spot on for the Phillies. They're a very top-heavy team.
Wouldn't you have rather seen Wheeler get it? When you see Wheeler's reaction, wouldn't you have rather have seen today, both of you, right now, that the commissioner said, let's give a Legends pick to a guy who's already announced he's retiring?
No.
Wow.
Sure. I don't
Wheeler
know.
should have been the pick.
From a human
the game's in Philly. The game's in Philly. And, yes, he could have been on the team as the Legends pick. He could have been there.
Why are we pitting Bryce Harper against Zack Wheeler?
Yeah, no, but Zack Wheeler's the guy because he could have had the pick. Zack Wheeler, you can hear in his voice. Zack Wheeler's pissed off. He is pissed
off.
He
feels like he got slighted. Not
he
because
could have
of
been
Legends
appointed.
Pick. He thinks he should have been picked before
he does. No, I understand.
The other three alternates.
But he also, as a guy that has already announced his retirement, announced he's stepping away from the game.
Kind of.
He should have been the – what do you mean kind of?
We'll see.
No, he said he is. No, you see. He said he is. And the legend of the game, he's the legend.
Jason Stark straight up said it. If he keeps pitching at this level, he thinks he would reconsider it. But the problem is the lockout that's looming.
Correct.
That's the problem.
The legend is him. And that's what I'm just saying.
I'm not going to – yeah, it's fine.
Give
Sorry.
him the legend.
All right. There is a huge stain of mustard outside of our suite 40.
Oh, yeah, right outside the front door.
Was this addressed?
I hadn't heard about
I've
this.
seen it for a couple of days. It's Wednesday. I've seen it Monday, Tuesday. I was out
It did not exist last Friday when Connor and I left. It did not exist.
So this was a Friday, at least midday.
At least when Connor and I left the building on Friday, that mark was not there.
Can you confirm that, Connor?
I couldn't tell you if there's a dead body on the floor.
Okay, you're not.
I don't look
No,
down.
it was not there Friday when we left.
All right. So it happened Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Friday midday, Saturday or Sunday. I'm going to guess, due to the lack of bodies on the weekend, it's probably sometime that took place Friday.
Okay.
But the July 4th thing, did somebody eat a hot dog with mustard on July 4th here?
There were pretzels, I believe,
There
on
were
the
pretzels.
3rd that Vito brought in. that
Vito
had
brought
mustard.
it, but here's what I'm going to tell you, too. Open the door. Open the door. Somebody had put mustard on a pretzel and was exiting, and it hit the ground. It wasn't somebody coming into the Fanatic with mustard. It's somebody who had mustarded up a pretzel because Vito was nice enough to bring pretzels. The mustard was out. Somebody mustarded up their pretzel and then was opening the door.
Dropped it.
And dropped it right there. So it's somebody who is not part of the Fanatic. It's somebody who came here, was taking our food.
Why would that mean that's not someone?
No,
at the
that could
Fanatic?
mean somebody was taking one for the road.
Could be.
I've eaten.
That's
the pretzels usually come in at the end of our show, so
Yeah.
I will take it for the road.
Okay, but these pretzels were here during our show. So I'm thinking it's more of one of the building people, somebody in this building who's not part of the Fanatic, coming to eat the food that's sticking around, walks through the door and drops it.
Now, Dylan straight up told me it was Ricky Patalico. I feel like Ricky always gets blamed.
I don't believe it.
Part of it for good reason, but I also don't want to just say that it was Ricky. I need more confirmation on
Why
this.
would Ricky be dropping a mustarded pretzel going out
Because he was a
the
pitcher, he
door?
wasn't an athlete.
Going out the door.
What was his fielding percentage? I got to look up career fielding percentage for one Ricky Batalico. That'll tell us if he's a suspect or not.
Yeah, we got to find this out.
I'll do some research
I
here.
put out the photo on my Twitter account, Salciunas975. Check it out. You guys can comment below who you think would be the mustard bandit. Now, I will say, mustard on carpet is not something that you can just clean up. Like you need one of the carpet vacs. So I'm not saying somebody left the mess behind and was wrong for doing it. We've seen that here all the time where somebody leaves in this studio, people just leave trash.
Oh my gosh.
And walk away. Ray Dunn did that to you a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
which was
Ray
very
Dunn.
disappointing to hear.
Ray Dunn left a little bit of a mess,
Ray sits in here one time, and all of a sudden it's messy, which is disappointing.
and not the soccer player.
Is there a messy? I was like, is there a Ray Dunn in soccer?
No.
But yeah, so we got to be careful around here, man.
972 career fielding percentage for one Ricky Batalico. Pretty darn good.
Ricky Batalico. There's no way. How about this? I think Dylan's trying to get us to find this. Ricky Batalico did not. I'm going to tell you, did not do it.
All right.
No, I'm having Ricky's back because somebody was exiting.
Dylan is furious. Come in here, Dylan.
I do not.
I mean,
believe
Dylan,
it.
you're not really a trustworthy guy sometimes.
Because Dylan, you've been known to throw people under the bus as far as part of bits to try to get people.
Go ahead.
You get people in trouble. As far as
Don't you know you don't give out your sources?
You're scared that Ricky's going to be mad at you.
Oh, he's absolutely going to be mad at me.
But he didn't do it. You're scared.
He did do it. Now that it's out there, I'll tell you what happened. I forget what day it was. Some day last week where Ricky was just being Ricky and being out of his mind and like throwing stuff. And he's like, he's coming at me. And then I walk out. He picks up the mustard and just tries to squirt it at me.
Oh,
it wasn't even a drop. This was a mustard squirt.
Yes.
Okay, that's
he didn't
then.
drop like.
Ricky, come on, man.
Now that
Okay,
it's
wait
out
a
there, I
minute
might as well
now.
say
Oh
that.
man, I'm telling you, this is going to be.
This is bad, dude.
That's bad.
Dylan, you better go in hiding because I can't believe you just exposed Ricky like that.
That's bad.
No, I'm just kidding. No, Ricky's in the wrong again. It's always Ricky in the wrong. And now I take back me saying I want to be fair. If Ricky's doing a mustard squirt, that's just
wrong. A mustard.
And now
squirt.
poor Miss Maria is going to have to clean it up.
That's just unbelievable.
I think
really crazy.
Ricky needs to bring in one of those vacs that you can clean up.
You don't have to use that for that.
No?
No.
What, a little seltzer water?
No, you
Little
can use
vintage.
it. You can buy there's stuff you can put on that.
All right,
to
I
clean
think
that up.
Ricky needs to drive.
Maybe put some mustard on the phone lines.
All right, maybe we'll try to call Ricky. We'll see what we can do.
Maybe
Also,
by my last day I'll get that fixed.
believe it or not, I have a soccer question. I have a soccer question that is a legitimate question because I'm a fake soccer fan. Connor, you're kind of a real fan. I heard an analyst ask this question this morning on ESPN Overnight.
No, you can't use your hands.
And it involves Team USA. And I heard the question. I was like, really? We'll get into that next here on The Fanatic.
Speaking of soccer, the FIFA World Cup is entering its biggest matches, and there's no better place to be than Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform. Now, unfortunately, Team USA is out, but there are some big-time teams and some big-time players. This is a great chance for you on Kalshi. The Golden Boot, the award for the highest scorer in this year's World Cup. Well, there's two guys close. Messi and Mbappe both trading at 41%, meaning a $100 trade is going to win you $234. They're dead even right now. So you can pick one or the other, whoever you like. Do you like the Frenchman? Do you like the Argentinian? You can trade that on Kalshi. And the best part is you're trading against peers in the live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and make sure you use code FANATIC to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade the beautiful game. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
Charles Barkley. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Does that Ricky Bo jersey come with a mustard stain on it?
That is fantastic.
What I need to know.
That's
Does the Ricky
fantastic.
Bo replica jersey have mustard on it?
Oh, that's great. That is a funny one. That was good.
Look,
that was good.
We got to make sure Dylan's all right. There's a lot of people wondering if the next knockout tournament won't be on the hardwood, but it'll be here in 97.5 The Fanatic.
There could be a knockout coming. So, hey, can I? Will I get a knockout today? In my? Will I win my Elite Eight matchup, Connor?
Are you playing a 93-year-old man again?
No, I played an 82-year-old man last night. Today I played Brian McMullen. Now,
I heard that guy's a stick.
McMullen's pretty good. He's crafty, but he can have like major blow-up holes.
Is it stroke play or is it?
It's match play.
You're losing.
So it's hole by hole. You know, you can have blow-up hole, blow-up hole.
Yeah, you're losing.
I'm not expected to win. Now, he had open heart surgery, but I've had cancer 3 times. So it's pretty much, there's no arguments about.
Whose ailment was more recent?
Mine.
All right, he's minus.
No, I think his. I think his.
He's minus 125 on the match line.
Yeah.
You're a solid plus 210, though.
He's crafty.
You're a good value.
He's crafty. I'm taking him down today.
What is this, Our Lady of Saints Country Club? Like,
I'm taking McMullen's going down today. He's going down today.
We are rooting for you, Johnny.
I'm going down. If I get to the Final Four, that'd be fun.
Wow, you do something the Sixers haven't done in 20 years.
I can advance further than Joel Embiid.
All right. So I have a soccer question, and it's a legitimate question. I'm not trying to be an a-hole here.
Okay.
But I was driving in this morning, and I heard the over.
A lot of things go on when you're driving in.
Yeah, I got to see billboards.
Billboards.
My car
things
makes
like
it
that.
here.
Yes.
By the grace of God.
Sometimes.
I heard an analyst. I didn't even ask you to pull the audio. I'll just paraphrase it. But the analyst was asked, "What can Team USA do in the next 4 years to improve in the World Cup?" And I'm like, "That's such a that. What do you mean?
Get tougher?
Well, get better player. It's the World Cup. It's not free agency. It's not trades.
Yeah, but you saw.
It's not...
But you saw on the world stage what they don't have. They don't have toughness. They don't have mental toughness.
They may not be good enough.
No,
They're
well,
not.
How
we
about
might
getting?
not. We are not. I won't say not. May not.
Right.
We are not a good soccer country.
But you can.
We're
be,
an okay soccer.
But
country.
you can become. You can work on being more mentally tough.
Okay, when they don't practice together till the month before the
But the team you put together a more, and the program that you create, the men's national program, you put together more mentally tough players.
Yeah, the hockey team's mentally tough. The basketball team's mentally tough. We've got plenty. It's not.
But not in soccer, we're not.
Exactly, because
Soccer, we're sharp and
there's
soft.
not good enough
We're not
players.
good. I know that. So like when I heard this question being asked, I was like, well, it's not like you can like let's go to the draft and we need to really focus on left wing here. Like you're picking the best of the best, and unfortunately, in the United States of America, our best is not the best of the best. It's the best of the best here in this
Right.
country,
It's
but
like-
it's not going to go up against Spain.
Do you see what Kyle Pagan asked yesterday? How many years would it take the United States to win a World Cup if we banned our athletes had to play soccer?
We'd win one of the next two.
That's what I said.
Yeah, probably.
If our
'cause
best
it's a very
athletes,
athletic
if our
country.
best athletes were not allowed to play basketball, baseball, football, whatever, we'd win one of the next 2 World Cups.
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
No, I understand that.
No,
but it's the idea.
I know,
that
but like,
that's the reason we don't win World Cups. That's it. That's the only reason.
Yeah, so
if
like,
all of our resources, if all of our attention was put to soccer, we would freaking dominate the world because our athletes would dominate
so what
the
you're
world.
saying is what they can do over the next 4 years is ban athletes from playing
But
other
they're not.
sports.
They're not, though. But it's not going to happen because we like a more, let's just say we like more rugged games.
Sure.
We don't like games where men roll around on the ground acting like they were injured when they're not injured. Which is pathetic.
It's
stuff.
not. It's
the
not
part
our
of it that I hate.
sport.
It's a part of it that I hate.
It's not our sport. I just I found
It's
it
so stupid.
I found it hilarious. Like, what can you do next year to be better? It's not. What?
Yeah, you need a stroke
though.
of luck. Like Balogun was the best player on the team in this World Cup. The only reason that he was able to play for the United States was his mom was too pregnant to fly when she had him, so she had
Isn't
to
that
stay
crazy?
here. Like
Yeah,
they wouldn't
that's
let her
nuts.
fly. Like that's the only reason that guy is on this team. You need a stroke of luck to find players that can compete on the world stage.
And 20 years from now, we may have less of the quality players for the players board today. But you never know.
Well, yeah, we never.
You never
know.
have any idea.
All right. Well, Davis Honda text line, Field of Davis difference. Check them out in Burlington. Hit us up with one text, and then we got to get the final results on the poll of the day, which is brought to us by Dr. Avedon Appel and the team at Iron Mountain Men's Health. Poll was strong for 4 hours today,
It was.
as it always is. That's why we love Dr. Avedon Appel. No issues with our polls. What we got?
Yeah, so we have a check-in here on the LeBron James conversation and everything that we've had going on with him potentially coming here. And this texter, I think, sets up very nicely for what we're going to get with Middays with Marks with the LeBron Jordan conversation. They say today's NBA is softer, but is also much more athletic from an overall standpoint, and I think LeBron fits that well. He would be a game changer for the Sixers.
Yes, absolutely.
LeBron would be so great for the Sixers. And honestly, if you don't like LeBron, it's okay. You don't like him, but you got to respect him, and you got to know that he'd be great for this team, and he'd be the perfect fit.
I just wonder, like, our man, I'm glad that he called in 215J Philly. Like, if the Sixers land LeBron and they win a championship, is he pounding the table when he's like, damn it?
How about
Like-
if they just get to a conference final?
Yeah, I'll take that, dude.
I'll take that, too.
It's been over 20 years.
I'll
All
take
right,
it,
what's the final results of the poll? I know it's Phillies related.
Yeah, with the Phillies just 2 games back of the Braves, you focusing more on the division or their day-to-day performance. 86% of our responders are focused on the day-to-day play. Only 14 on the division.
Now, look, I understand where you came in this morning with the pie in the sky, but the fans have spoken. They've spoken to you.
And
It's
the fans
about-
are never wrong.
And usually everybody's
No.
on the wrong side of history.
We'll see. Not in this place.
All right, everybody have a great
See you,
rest of
man.
your day. Dylan going to hiding. Middays with Marks comes your way next here on The Fanatic.